Yes, welcome to another broadcasting. Tonight we are dealing with campaign promises. Your MCA, your MP, your woman rep, your governor, your senator, your presidential candidate promised you several things when they were campaigning. I don't know if you hold a scorecard of what they have achieved so far, or you just want to promote them to the next seat without censoring what they have done or what they have achieved. Yeah, there are those who came to you as MCS, and right now they are coming back as campaigning to be MPs. But have they achieved anything while they were in that seat you elected them to be? There are those who came to you as MPs. Right now, they are campaigning to be governors, and you want to elect them, but are you holding a scorecard against them? Most of them promise heaven. They don't even deliver earth. They deliver hell. But we as voters, we keep on promoting them. We don't know why we do that. I think it is only wise that you promote somebody who has achieved what he promised to do, or at least is above average. But most of the campaign promises are unfulfilled. Yet those who gave you the promises are seeking for new political offices, and we are ready to promote them. Talk to us. Should we hold a scorecard against our MPs, our governors, our senators, our women rep, our presidents, and all their running mates, governors and all their running mates, or we just keep on and people to new offices without kindly mute Tito? I've been muting you, and let's mute first so that there is order as we begin. And then I will give you a chance to respond. Yeah, so tonight that is the key question that we are asking ourselves. Should we promote people based on what they have done? Or should we just keep on electing them in the offices? After all, they are our sons and daughters. After all, they are our kinsmen. After all, we are promoting them to the table. Ni wakati yetu kukula. It's our time to eat. After all, they are representing our community interests. Yeah, so those are issues we want to handle tonight. So let me share the link and then we proceed from there. And then I will share just one clip. It may not capture everything that was in the political promises, but just to give us an impetus and to jumpstart us in discussing this issue.
Saudi imepotea, sikupati mzuri wekeza. Sike kunywa la mula ita.
My voice is low.
You're very clear. You're very clear.
Yeah, Tito, just check your mic and then you come back on the studio. Because every other person is hearing me.
Loud and clear.
Just check on your mic, Tito. Maybe it has an issue. Okay.
Let
Is
Tito
it
sign
okay
out
now?
and come back.
Tito? Tito
Let
sign
Tito
out and then you come
and
back.
then come back. Yeah.
Franco, how are you?
Fine now, yes, sir.
I'm very fine.
Yes, sir. How was your day?
My Sunday has been fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Mine was
And
good also.
yes, did you attend church?
I did yesterday.
Or you attended mosque, whatever, depending on your faith.
No, I'm Kajwanga's thing.
You are?
I worship the same with Kajwang.
Who is Kachwang?
You don't know Kajwang?
The senator?
He's in TSDA.
Oh, okay. you attend the same church there. That's
Yes.
good.
Yeah. People are not coming online today. I don't know. They're still busy. Hello?
Okay, now I've gotten the clip. Let's get moving. Let's get moving. We are talking about campaign promises.
Inawezekana tuzalishe uchumi wa Kenya kwa 10% na kwenda mbele. Kama kwanza tutawapa vijana wetu ujuzi wa kiteknolojia wa kisasa, kwa sababu tunaelekea katika karne ya 21 ambayo uchumi inaendeshwa na teknolojia. We are moving to a knowledge-based, technology-driven economy, and we must arm our youth, young men and women, with the necessary technology to contribute their talent, their energy, their expertise in transforming our economy so that we can grow it by double digits and eliminate poverty in our country.
You said you're going to create 1 million jobs every year. Every year, 1 million jobs. Now the 8th year, there should be 8 million jobs. The rate of unemployment has gone up from where we left it in Grand Coalition government. Where are those 8 million jobs? You've forgotten that you promised 8 million jobs. Now you're saying you want mama mboga, mtu mkokoteni, mtu wheelbarrow. Why wheelbarrow? You say modern jobs. Where are these personal jobs? Mr. 6 months. So you're going to build modern stadia, each and every county, 47 counties. Each and all of them will have modern sports complex where the youths are going to be able to train. Where are them, Mr. 6 months?
Okay, we may not have all the campaign promises in one clip, but generally we want to get a scorecard. We are not discussing only presidential candidates. We also discuss our governors, our MCS, our women rep, our MPs. Has any of them achieved their campaign promises? Most of them promised you heaven, and they are not delivering anything. Talk to us. Do they deserve to be sacked or to be promoted to the next office? Warungi, how are you?
Okay, good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. What is your take on the scorecard? Yes, I'm hearing you perfect and clear. What is your take on the scorecard of our leaders?
Okay, according to the job they promised, the Jubilee government. Hello.
What is happening to people? Network issue or what?
I
They
don't know
come
what's
in
the problem
studio
because
and
sometimes you are coming down. We are not hearing you properly. I go ahead.
yeah, proceed. Okay, what is happening to our network today? Proceed.
Shida ni kama iko kwa studio. Check the problem is in the studio.
Ruben. Hi,
Yes.
Ruben. Are you getting me? Tito, proceed.
So me, I'll just speak about Kenya in generally. It's my country and I love it. But at an extent, we are destroying the country. And for the reason why I'm speaking like this, those people who are the biggest percentage in our country that the youth. And the youth are being manipulated. Those people who have been in power for a long time to cheat them because they don't have anything that will present in their table to say that we have this and we need this. People are supposed to come out to speak on their behalf. And because of we have the youth in the country and we have the organization for the youth, but those who are leading those youth organization, they are not speaking out to defend the youth and to come in the control of the country, because we are almost 60% of the country who are the youth. Now, if you're going to leave this politics in hands of the old people who have been playing politics for a long time, they're destroying country one by one, slowly by slowly. For instance, if I come to the promise, just particularly, let me just speak about my vice president currently. He's a good in speaking, but is small in acting. And then right now, we are going to fall into a trap of being targeting the same youth who are being targeted for the past 8 years. And let me just speak this through from my heart. Those old promises, we have been not even a single minute benefit from those promises that they are promising us. They are going to build the stadium. We see the same. The year 20, not even the year. During the past of Moi, the all stadium that Moi built and live in the country, that's still the same. Nothing else has been changed. But we've been promised in a big way. We are going to receive this and this and this and this. So let us open up our minds and come to know that we are useful in our country. And if you're going to sleep on the about politics, which is happening in our country, now the country is going to go in a wrong hands of people. We are going to be dictated. We are going to be more killed. Because why am I saying this? If you are being involved now, we are waking up to say that this is wrong and this is good. These people that are going, getting more powerful, more money, and are going to kill us. Why? We're supposed to come closer and start accounting these people, what they're doing with the money that we are being taxed, why we are buying things, why we are working, we are issuing money to the government to run our money. This is our money. We're supposed to look for them how they are using, how they are dispersing the money from the big government to the small government, which is counties. But if you are not going to count these people, we are going to suffer for more years. We are still going to suffer. And we're supposed to stand up. We make our decision, because Kenya inaenda kuuzwa, na hiyo pesa ikiuzwa, sijui nani atakawiwa. Mimi nangojanga yangu Dubai tu mniletee. Mkiuza mnikawie. Watu wameanza kunikosheti kuuza Kenya na si hatuna habari. Kwa sababu ukishatoa meeting uende nchi nyingine, unafanya meeting na foreigners, which means Kenya iko kwa mnanda na inaenda anytime. So I'm so sorry to speak that, but I'm Kenyans. I'm Peter about what the politics going on in the Kenyan. Mimi nimekuwa Nairobi for a long time. I've been staying in Huruma. My MP, she was Margaret Wanjiru. She did big. Nilikuwa natembea kwa matope, but that lady changed everything. Ikakuwa sawa na appreciate Margaret Wanjiru. The problem alienda juu akawachia mtoto. Sasa the problem kuachia mamlaka watu wengine, that's a big problem. Yeye alikuwa the good leader to us, but akapatia mtoto ambaye hakuwa anajua needs zetu, and then we get in the problem again. I personally speak to the son of Margaret Wanjiru, nikamwambia watu Mathare wamekupatia kura, ukaenda ukarudi kwa Dynasty, muende kuishi huko, si tukiteseka, lakini mamaka alikuwa anatusaidia, alikuwa anakuja akituona. Nilimuongelesha personal yake, nikamwambia ukuje kwa ground uone watu yako wakiteseka, at least mjue bila mtawasaidia. No time alitolewa kwa sababu ya nini? Negligent. No, now all people who are in the government, not even in the government, who are in the parliament and with the Senate, most of them 100%, 80% are neglecting their people who vote for them to go to those seats. Now they're supposed to come back to talk to people, to know their problems, to solve their problems. Or less, people are going to go home. I'm 100% sure people are going to go home. This coming politics, people are shaping up. The youth, they're supposed to come out to demonstrate, to take these people, to account these people who are not working, to go home, and then to go and rest, to leave others to work for the people. We are employing them. They are not being employed for with anybody else, but we are the one voting for them to employ them. They're supposed to come back to do what we want. Thank you for contribution. I'm very happy to come live on Mtembei TV. Next time, let us have hope to have a discussion which is healthy, and it will help the country to revolve, and then to know that we are very important in our country. The youth, they're supposed to come out in larger number to change, and then to raise their voice together to know that our country is going wrong in wrong hands. Thank you so much, Wekesa.
Thank you so much for your contribution, Timos. Kuna mtu akona swali kabla uende?
Yes.
Clinton, can you ask the question?
I have a ask, man. My ask is this.
Yes.
Tito anasema kwamba wakati Bishop aliondoka akachia mtoto, ni ukweli mtoto wake alikuwa MP pale. Lakini mbona unasema pia hiyo ndio ubaya wa kuachia mtu mwingine mamlaka? Kwani mtu akiwa kwa mamlaka anafaa kuishi hapo milele? Ama inakuwa kwaje?
Let me just explain. Sasa ujue familia it goes to generation, wanataka kutufosia mtu. Ujue Margaret alitoka wakatupatia kijana Kirasima, tukifikiria atafanya kazi kama mama yake, ambapo ni familia ndio inaturun, ambapo tukaona ni makosa kupatia the same family to run the same things. It will get into problems. Why? Somebody who's coming is not having an experience. Alikuwa kwanza ni mtoto, unaona, yeye alikuwa na run CTF iko inafanya by mzuri sana vile tulikuwa tunafikiria, but hiyo CTF ndio ilimpatia chance ya kuja kurani kama as an MP. But ilikuwa ni by election. Hata ilikuwa ni really main election, ilikuwa ni by election. Tulikuwa na corruption ilienda mahali fulani waka sijui alikuwa nani ana vote na yeye, ndio wakarudia Riran ndio alikuja akapita. Kwa sababu ilikuwa soni ya ODM na akapita akakuja kupata kwa ticket ya ODM. So kuachia mamlaka mtu mwingine ambaye haelewi needs zetu, that's a problem. Kwa sababu huyu jamaa bali alielewa, mimi sijui kama anajua shida yote, kama anajua mkate ni pesa ngapi. Margaret alikuwa amemlinda mzuri, lakini Margaret mwenyewe really yeye amepitia kwa shida. Akaona watu wako na problem, watu wanahitaji maji, watu wanahitaji ABCD, but yeye mwenyewe hajui.
Unajua nini Tito?
Yes.
Mtoto wa Margaret aliletwa kupanish mama yake. Juu mama yake alikuwa ameanza kujiunga na Jubilee. So wote mlipigia kura kama ODM supporters to show that hata kama Jubilee wamechukua Margaret, bado mko na kijana. So
Yes.
it is a problem nyinyi kama watu wa Mathare mlijiletea, mkaishi nayo, mkapambana nayo.
No.
Mpaka
Let me just add to you the categorically speaking, mtu akiwa na performance in real sense hawataangalia ati ni ODM. Hapana, sisi tulikuwa tunapigia mtu yote kura. For the first time hata mtu mwenye alikuwa amepita alikuwa wa Jubilee. Ndio wakaenda kwa court wakanalify warudie. Ndio huyu jamaa kuja apite. Unaona? Sisi tunapigia mtu yoyote ule mwenye tunaona at least anakuwa na perform. Performance it speaks louder. Huyu jamaa angekuwa na perform kasi yake, angeendelea, angekuwa sahihi baada ya yuko. Waacha vile mnasema mama yake alikuwa amecross. Hiyo ilikuwa ni individual decision yake. Sisi tungeangalia. Tuko na jamaa alikuwa MCA wa Huruma. Sijui ilikuwa ni Modikani. Jamaa the moment alichukua pesa ya vote na akakuja kuwatch Arsenal na Manchester wakicheza live kwa uwanja. Watu wakakundua. That's the moment. Hata kama umefanya nini na nini, but watu uchukue pesa ya raia uende kuwatch mpira live kwa uwanja na watu wanateseka. Unafaa kuangalia watu wenye wana shida, wale kupigia kura, watu wako NPC, watu wanataka mashule, watu wanataka hospitali, watu wanataka barabara. But yeye alichukua advantage. Huruma market alikuwa amechenga kidogo. Sasa ujue msiana kasi mingi na alikuwa na kapati katoko sana. Hiyo ndio smallest ward in Nairobi. Sijui ilikuwa inaitwa Ngei, sijui what Ngei 1. The smallest ward in Kenya. Acha niseme ni Kenya. Kadogo sana. Sasa amechukua advantage kwa sababu kako developed. Na akaendanga na pesa kwenda kuona Manchester na Arsenal wakicheza. Kurudi walimwambia aende nyumbani. Alikuwa ODM. Alifukuzwa.
Asante.
Alikuwa anaitwa sijui Dan nani. Alikuwa anaitwa Dan somebody. Alifukuzwa, aliambiwa aende nyumbani. Alikuwa ODM. Walimfukuza. Wakapatia mwingine. Sasa speaks louder what you are doing in the ground. Bila unasikizana na watu itakuweka hapo hivyo.
Asante, nimeridhika.
Sawa, nimeshukuru.
Sawa, Clinton, your brother Dominic Mokaya from Shauri Moyo amesema anafuatilia hii studio. Thank you. The next person I want him to make his comment is Dennis. Dennis, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let me ask you a question. What is the funniest campaign promise you've ever received from either your MCA, MP, your women rep, governor, or senator, or even presidential candidate?
The funniest is Kimarin. Kimarin Stadium will be ready in 6 months. What the 6-month promises that we were given by the deputy president. He was very vocal about it, and I am still not sure when the 6 months were starting or when they will start. I'm meant to understand that maybe the 6 months will begin in 2022. Again, if he is elected the president, because it seems to have shifted goalposts. But all the same, I just want to say this, that unlike what other panelists have already, or the panelist that I found doing his presentation stated, the problem is bottom up. It is not bottom up in the manner that the deputy president is trying to put it. This is just hijacking or taking advantage of a slogan that is not applicable in his scenario of wanting to be president of this country. So the bottom-up problem that we have also has a cause. It is we, the electorate, that install the bad leaders that do not perform or do as per our expectations. So if we are to address ourselves from the root cause, we must face each other as ordinary people, as voters, and begin to talk to ourselves, begin to reason amongst ourselves, so that we don't end up having wrong products. Because if we go we go through a wrong process, we don't expect to have a better product, and in return we don't expect better services. So all these things that we keep on complaining about, we are the root cause. Number two, how we are the root cause during the electioneering period. For those of us that have tried politics, me, I've tried to be an MCA before, and I do comprehend very vividly what the electorate want. Electorate do not want ideas. Electorate want lies and handouts. So if you do not have any handout to give them, I'm telling you, you are not a leader. Or you could be leader in, you could be an ideal leader, but realistically speaking, you may not be elected to be a leader. So I do know that in this country, there are leaders out there who have not been elected. It is because they do not have free money to give to the electorate. They cannot afford what those at the bottom want. At the bottom, people don't want ideas. People want handouts. So when you have these handouts as a voter at the bottom there, and you expect better or good leadership, after someone has invested his money, you don't know the source of such money that you are given as handouts, but you still go ahead and complain and say there are no good roads. When you are given handouts, it meant that your vote was bought. Someone moiled and toiled to put those funds together so that he can bribe you. And you decided to vote for the one who bribed you. Where do you expect, how do you expect this person to create jobs for you as a young man? This person is a political tenderpreneur. He or she invested in you. And when you give him an opportunity and he ascends to that leadership position, all the tenders that were meant for young people, for blah, 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 will first go to him and his cronies. He will even register his own companies to do business. So by the end of the day, we have these issues of conflict of interest and such kind of things. But you know what? The situation is compelling. Compelling because not that these leaders want to do those things. It is that next time they want to be re-elected, they must give you, the electorate, ordinary people at the bottom, what you want. They must serve you what you want, handouts. And then come to the fake promises and the leaders that we have. And specifically, I just want to talk about these bottom-up kind of narrative that is being peddled around by the deputy president and the rest. You know, the version of bottom-up that he's trying to sell to us is not real. Let me give you an instance. We had this cabinet secretary in charge of education, Dr. Fredo Matiang'i, who is now in charge of interior. There are some changes he brought in the education sector that define what bottom-up means. You do not have to make a difference in a society or in leadership if you are elected, or you can still do it as an elected leader. But you see, Matiang'i has not been elected. But you see, schools or national schools used to charge a lot of money. And it is only the rich people who could take children to national schools, government and national schools. But as it is right now, you know, the fee for all these national schools has been standardized. Fees around 56,000. So for us young people, whose children are going to school right now, the cost of education that was brought down meant a benefit to us, because now we are able to take our children to school, whether you are rich or whether you are poor. The kind of exploitation that used to be there was actually dealt with in a such manner. Right now, we are being told about bottom up by being given a wheelbarrow, being given free things and such kind of things. We need, if government could make life easier for us, not making life easier for us because you can pick a few people, selectively give them a wheelbarrow and just shout from the rooftop and say, you're gonna change our lives. That is not the way bottom up should work. You should be able to make ordinary people, whether they support you or they do not support you, have some ease of doing business, create a conducive environment so that people can do whatever they got to do and blossom without necessarily, getting any favors from you as a leader. Because now this bottom up of the deputy president is human worship, that you have to say Uda, 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 so that then you are given a wheelbarrow and you are told now this is your way to success. So we need to be very sharp as the electorate. Next time, let us elect leaders, not because the leader can give you something for free as a token. It is because a leader has an idea that can make your life better, and can make your life better when you depend on yourself. So you do not have to knock at a leader's door every day. You do not have to visit a leader at his home, at his residence, so that then you can feel or your life can change. It is an environment that has been created that is enabling that whatever that you have to do, because we cannot all own wheelbarrows, or wheelbarrows cannot be our way to success, all of us. So we have to do whatever that we got to do, whether it is farming, whether it is whatever it is, value addition, and such kind of things, so that then we can blossom in whatever that we are doing. So I just want to give others an opportunity, but thank you so much for affording me an opportunity to also speak my mind.
Thank you, Dennis. It is what it is. I think today we are talking about promises, and the funniest promises you have ever received from your, whether it's an MCA, an MP, a women rep, a governor, senator, presidential candidate. Talk to us. Abdi, are you in the house?
Yes,
Abdi?
I'm within.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm within.
Share one of the campaign promises that looked funny for you. You were promised, but you knew very well this one will not be accomplished.
Okay, I think it's the issue of the promises of Jubilee government that we promised of hii inaitwa nini, Ruto alikuwa anasema one of amesema moja atajenga Moyale in Marsabit County, which he didn't deliver. It's okay, yani we will not criticize him sana kuhusu maneno, because as government that inakuja there is a promises ile inatangwa scorecard ile inasemekana itafanywa na ile imefanyika na ile imekosa kufanyika. So we don't criticize too much Deputy President about that, I want to also talk about issue of bottom up and UDA and everything. If you don't believe in bottom up or chama cha UDA, every man akona opinion yake. Personally, Deputy President is the best candidate so far. And personally, I believe in this guy. Why? Because
Abdi, you are missing the debate. We are saying, you kindly point out, we are talking about the promises that failed. Each person can point out what he thinks has failed. So can you focus on whether you want to talk about Uhuru, whether you want to talk about Raila, but can you talk about the promises that guys are giving us and they have failed, so that the debate does not, if somebody mentioned somebody, that is according to him, he sees that promise will not be fulfilled. You mention yours and tell us that Raila promised us this, but we don't think it will happen. We are allow us to have to focus on issues that sometimes politicians promise us and they don't deliver, so that you are not fixated that if somebody mentions your candidate, you have to go and defend. They are the ones who knows whether they will fulfill those promises or not.
Okay,
Abdi, you be open-minded. Even talk about your MCA, talk about your MP. Don't be fixated with the deputy president. So you don't have to rebuttal what Dennis has said. That is according to him. You get your promises that you think your governor or whoever never fulfilled.
unajua Wekesa, you know, in history in Kenya, if you see the politician, no politician is 100%. In fact, anaweza fanya 30% of what he said. So everyone has that weakness. Okay? Now, can I talk of a little bit of okay, may I like to talk about Ruto, lakini you refuse. But for me, what I can say about the leadership so far of our people, MCA, bunge, governors, they are human beings. Hata kama wamefanya 50% of it, kuna wengine hata wajafanya hivyo. The promises wamefanya, most of the wamefanya 30%.
Yeah,
okay?
Share one first.
I will leave at that point, at that area. Okay, so you can give for another chance for another people, kindly.
Okay, thank you. Ruben?
Okay, thank you, guys. This is another day. I'm happy to meet you here. And first of all, I just want to congratulate Zambian people for better work and bringing down all the. This is I believe this is an international platform. And I think we may have some of them here, but I want to thank them for bringing down all the deep state and everything and giving a chance to somebody else. Thank you. On matter of today, about the topic today, I'm wondering about the two guys who speak lastly. Are we talking about deputy president? Are we talking about or
no, share yours first. Share yours first. Kindly, because that is where we will go. If you go there and then it will be one person. Just share yours and you can share completely away from what they shared.
Okay.
It's campaign and there are so many.
Okay, I believe in those promises are just targets. They do the promises. They give so many promises, but some may fulfill up to 50%, 20%, and everything. Let's say that is an expectation, and it's like when you are doing an exam, you don't say I will get 20. No, you are ready to get allowed 80 or 90 and A. We may not condemn them because they sometimes not fulfill, but some may try. But there are others, even they never get 20 or 10% of what they promises. Like if I took an example for Moi Kibaki scored a very good marks on his promises, and comparing him with the Jubilee government, I can give them just 20% of their promises. They promised us laptop, they promised us free education, of which is false and a total lie, and our MCAs have so many promises, but what I know, government is a hierarchy. You start from up to down. If up is bad, don't expect down to be good, because if we like this Jubilee government,
Are you still on? Ruben, I think we have lost him. Sarah?
Good evening.
Good evening, Sarah.
Yes.
What are the funniest campaign promises you have ever received from either your women rep, MCA?
My campaign promises with me, I think it is only 2%. The promises they gave us, they were 100 and something percent. But when they entered the seat, I personally have only seen, I think, about from the MCA to president. No, let me put first from MCA to my senator. Nothing, really nothing. Specifically, let me talk about my women rep, because that is the thing, that is the part that touches women mostly. About this affirmative action, if you aren't a friend, a relative, and a close ally to her, you see her every now and then in Facebook, you will not be given any affirmative action funds. Within the groups, if you are not coming from her allies, you are not given anything. So with me, I think God willing 2022, hiyo nyumba ya tutaifagia mzuri sana, because they promised us a lot of things. Na saizi you get them saying that nataka kurudisha ile pesa nilifanya nayo campaign. So these people are not helping us. They are making money for 2022 and some are reversing their money for which they used in their campaign trail. So for me, nothing. About the national government, that is from the deputy plus the president, I think in my Jubilee government, because Jubilee imesambaratika. For now, also in my UDA party, nothing. If you are not so close and you are not going to Karen every now and then, you are just nothing. So what we need right now, it is we want them to focus on people on ground, not those people who are going to sing them in their houses. You know, this thing of going to someone else, it doesn't help. Why don't you come to ground where you are given the votes? Why should we come to your house? We need them to come to ground. Then they meet so many people in ground. These other ones are I think, what can I put in my native language? These people, they are the people who goes there. They tell these politicians at the ground because they go and talk on behalf of us. We need those people to come to ground, and then they hear what we say in ground. Not giving them our reports. How do they know about our reports on ground? Hiyo ni watu wa kwenda mabwenyenye ya kwenda kutafuta matumbo huko ya kukula peke yake. Hakuna kitu kingine wanaenda kututangazia huko. So with my scorecard, I have nothing to give. I think if I can give most is 2%. Thank you.
Sarah, can you respond
Yes.
to Luther Martin?
Yes.
Is on comment section. He's saying that Jubilee government has done a lot. Imagine how many roads have been tarmacked, railway buildings. Respond to Luther Martin in the comment section.
That is the scorecard I'm giving them. It's only 2%. If it is the tarmac and other things, it is only 2%. They have not. That is a few things that they have done. I think that what I can say, it's only about the railway, and that is from Mombasa to Nairobi, nothing else. Wamefika wapi kwingine? Hakuna. Or someone can tell me in Kisumu iko railway imefika hii ya Jubilee government.
Okay.
Nothing.
I think he has heard. Mugambi. No, it's Ruby and then Mugambi.
Yes. Okay.
Ruby and then Mugambi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was almost sleeping, and somebody actually had very nice things here. All the Dennis. And first, I will come in to defend the Jubilee government on promises that Jubilee government has actually delivered some of the promises. It's only that the promises they made, most of them were not practical, but on infrastructure, I think they have done better. The only problem that the Jubilee government has is the priorities. They have actually gone for mega projects that have low, their returns are low and will take time to give back to our economy. And first of all, where they missed the point, and I don't talk about promises made by MCAs, made by MPs, because what I know from my MP is just bursary and classrooms, of which our MP has gone ahead to even feed.
Who is your MP?
My MP is Gideon Ochanda. I
Yes.
have another MP called.
The only thing he
Fredo.
promised was bursary.
No. I have another MP called Shakil Shaber. In fact, that my vote is in Kisumu East. So I think Shakil is really feeding people and giving people bursary. I once applied for that bursary. I don't know whether I got. I don't know up to now. But he's good. That means he's really working down here.
Given chance, you can promote him to the next seat, or is he retaining the seat?
I don't know. That one, time will tell. But promises amefanya. He has actually constructed footbridges. On his side, he has tried as an MP. MCAs now, they have not actually performed. I didn't even listen to MCAs. I didn't listen to their promises, so I cannot talk about it. And coming to the national women rep, hii hapana, hiyo siongelelei kwa sababu do those people have even funds for projects? They don't have. Senators, those ones are in Nairobi. Their work is to summon the governors, and I don't know the promises they made. So they don't go straight.
Have your senator ever spoken in parliament? Ama ni ule wa the silent majority?
In fact, I have two senators who are very active. One of them is James Orengo, the other one is Outa. Outa is very active on the ground and at the Senate as well. So for senators, they are actually doing well. Then there were some queer promises that were made by Ruto. I don't know, they were made by Jubilee government. But I heard Ruto talking about free internet. That kutakuwa na free internet ili muendeshe mambo yenu. And if you look at that thing, even when it was said, it is not practical, it's unachievable. There was free laptops, which I didn't see. And where they really missed the point was in creating millions of jobs. Right now, if you look at this country, I've just watched a story here of our brothers, of our sisters in Saudi Arabia. They are dying there. They went there to look for jobs. It is very, very sad indeed if we can have a government and its citizens are suffering in a foreign country. They went there purposefully to look for jobs. They got those jobs. They are mistreated. And we have a government that promised millions of jobs. So that is where Jubilee government missed the point. Why would you even promise free internet? Why would you even promise things which are not practical? Why would you even promise bottom up that is baseless? It's not founded in anything. While we have a lot of companies, and not companies, a lot of factories that are actually grounded just because of some small things. And these factories created jobs for our people. We have the agricultural sectors that is vast in this country, and that was the greatest world that we were left in by the colonialist, and we were given by God. If we look at the agricultural industry, look at the coffee growing, tea, look at there's another one called pyrethra, rice, maize, sugar cane, call them. They are here with us. We also have minerals that we mine. We even have oil in Turkana. Why can't the government just get straight into these things so that we get jobs for our people than promising to give money direct to people, which is not tenable, it's not achievable, and will not be implemented? I think we need to look at the promises that are made by politicians. And the only reason, the only way that we can check the politicians, if we are reading their scorecard against their promises, and we see they have scored very, very lowly, we need to check them in the subsequent elections. Because if a politician promised to create free internet, and we have not seen that free internet, in fact, taxation is all over, even in things that are supposed not to be taxed, like betting. So if a government promised all these things and they have not done them, they should not give us an excuse. We, the people, should actually use that to ask them more questions and demand answers from them. There was also a promise of the 6 stadiums and additional 4 that were added. I just posted the Cameroon Stadium in West Pokot, historic stadium. The stadium was just, I think it was just levelized and left like that. And at a terrace, a small terrace built, and it was left at that. If you go look at the nitty-gritties, you will find out that maybe a lot of money was spent on that thing. But here we are talking of promises that cannot be achieved, that are not practical. I don't see, even if you people say that nobody should talk about bottom up, I don't see how we can achieve bottom up in this country. Because the people must be empowered from what is existing. What do I mean? We have the plan of rural empowerment, industries in the rural to be revived, so that we get our people on these factories, in these industries, they work there. That is job creation. Once we have job creation, people will get employed. People will get money in their pockets than having a business in a very, very bad economy. If I give you, even if I give you 1 million today to start a business and the economy is bad, your business will not excel. It will fall. It will not have life because there are no potential buyers. So we need to create jobs for people, for citizens to get empowered so that they can get the purchasing power. If you give somebody 10,000 today, he gets his avocados and sells them in Kibuye market, and then there are no buyers. The avocados will rot. So as wananchi, we need to check on politicians with the promises that they make that are not realistic. I think the Jubilee government, I think there was a lot of excitement. that they could say anything, even free. I think They talked of free primary and secondary education, which we did not see. Kibaki government tried with the free thing and they reached somewhere. But Jubilee government reversed the gains. And there are a group of people that their Jubilee government development record are individuals. When those individuals stopped being in the government, then the Jubilee didn't perform. I can count the number of projects, like the infrastructural projects. I heard somebody asked of a railway. We have a railway being revived. We have a railway institute that is coming up in Kisumu that is going to take students. It's going to employ people. So we have a port that has been revived. People are now getting employment there. We have expressway that is being constructed right now. We have a lot of infrastructural projects. The credit I can give them is on infrastructure. They have really done infrastructure. Another credit is in the improvement of maybe service delivery with the creation of Huduma centers, but it is still a challenge because there's a lot of intruding in the systems. If you look at even the IFMIS system, we've lost a lot of money through IFMIS than we lost in other systems. So they have tried to digitalize, but they have not gotten the point because there are no securities, there are a lot of crimes that are being committed in the systems. So with those few remarks,
There's a
would
question
end there.
from just Fat. Can you ask your question?
Thank you for the opportunity. Mine is just few regarding the ad, the guy who has been on air. One, you have talked about the empowerment. You need to understand that empowerment starts with you. When you said about the companies, especially in Western, we are the one who are mostly affected.
I think you have a network problem. I don't know if it's
when
only
it comes
you, it's not here.
to the company being shut down. But first,
are you guys hearing
understand what are the role of our leaders. We need not just not to blame the government, but blame the leaders who are in power, especially in Western region. Because when we set up, for example, I can give you an example of Mumias Sugar.
I think he has a problem of network in Wekesa.
Yeah,
Let him
we are
check his
to
network.
get
We are
someone
getting
to come and
in
revive the
staccato,
Mumia
so we are
Sugar
not
company.
able to connect.
Mugambi, make your contribution. Let him fix his network first.
Okay, thank you. I can see today we are having a very technical topic to discuss. Are you getting me, Wekesa?
Very clear.
Thank you. I'm saying today we have a very technical topic to discuss, and very many people will be scared of it because most people are used to political rhetorics, propaganda, and the rest. But on this, you can never do any propaganda. Back to the topic about the campaign promises and the scorecard. And I will start by saying that, first of all, our leaders get it wrong when they promise us some, in their manifesto, some issues that are not smart. In smart, I mean, they are never specific on what they are going to do. in terms of policy implementation. Their promises are never measurable. That's why a leader will promise you something in 2013, promise the same 2017, and in 2022 repeat the same thing he said in 2013. Meaning they are never measurable, they are never achievable, some of them. They are never realistic. Like I'm going to give some examples of unrealistic promises that we have had in the past and that we are yet to hear, or we are getting them, and time bound. Actually, when any politician makes any promise to you from MCA to president, they need to give us promises that are time bound. That is, at least the projects that they can accomplish in their 5 years in office. Because when someone promises you a Vision 2030 project, it means you want to tie people to that promise for the next 30 years. Therefore, like for an MCA, you should promise something that you can achieve within 5 years. The same case with MP, the same case with human rep, the same case with governor. But presidents can bring the mixture of the two, because president is the CEO of the country, and we can't accept short-term projects from the national government. That said, I want to begin by looking at our government from top to bottom, from our president, and how they got to power in the first place. When these two guys, I can say, when they got to power, they were not prepared for the win. They were not prepared for the victory. That's why they had a very big promise to Kenyans, or good promises that they never thought it would take long to implement. And that said, I need to make this clear. Even as a parent, you can lie to your spouse, you can lie to your parents, but you should never lie to your children. On your children, I mean, when the digital government got into power, their first promise was digital learning, or the laptops for the kids. And yes, they brought some tablets in few schools, but the problem, there were no power in those schools. Many of those things, they were just for show off. Then we have in education, I think the digital thing, the computer thing, it's knocking the Jubilee government off. But they had promised free secondary education and subsidized, of which they brought it. Most day schools, they are free. If you are paying anything, it is for your food. Meaning, if you join any day secondary school in Kenya and you can be able to carry your food to school, you can study for 4 years for free, from the information that I have. Then we have, when we want to analyze the presidency, we need not to look at the president holistically. We need to break down what pertains to the national government, and that trickles down to the ministries. They have tried a little bit in Ministry of Education. I think Ministry of Energy, they have performed poorly, because when they go to power, we end the Turkana oil. Uhuru went there, he flagged off, I think, a few barrels of oil, but thereafter, we never know what happened to that the crude oil, or the unrefined oil that they took from Turkana to the port, then to the refining countries. We never know what happened. I'm informed in Turkana, in that area, the thing now is unfunctional. It is not functioning anymore. And there are so many clashes and issues pertaining to land and all those things. Meaning, before these people start drilling the oil, they would have settled some issues like land ownership, titles, and all that. Sometimes it's good to work on the system before you go to implementation. Because if you begin with implementation, then you'll get so many hurdles on the way. And those hurdles, they will empower you. They will overpower you. And you'll end up losing everything, as you have lost that mega project in Turkana. Ngamia 1 and Ngamia 2 in Turkana. So Ministry of Energy, nobody should tell us about the rural electrification. That was Kibaki's project. They just came to make it, to finish it, of which they have not managed, although they have done a better part of it. But what the government has failed is to kill the monopoly supply of power. We know the power is produced by geothermal industrial company. Then the Kenya Power and Lighting Company is the sole company that always supplies the power to people. I think as a government, and if the government is people powered, they should encourage more even private investors, if not the government investment itself, to bring the competition in that power supply. Because if geothermal is going to produce the power, then Kenya Power and other competitors should be given the mandate to supply the power to the Mwananchi. And that's saying that we'll have cut the cost of power, and when we cut the power, most goods prices will go down and the rest. So we have the Ministry of Sports. I think Ministry of Sport is one of the ministries that has been that should be written the list from 2030 to date, because if anyone is asked what is happening in Ministry of Sport, I will say the people are there just to eat money. For example, we saw Mr. Kinuthia, the CAS in sports. He was in Tokyo. His main assignment was giving us the selfies and the rest. Meaning that's just a man without brain who has been put in the ministry that should be so vital in nurturing the talent of our young Kenyans. When those Kenyans who are running in Tokyo with or without mentors, when they came back, they left him back in Tokyo. What was he doing there? Of course, I think he was slaying there, or he was looking for his personal business opportunities, which is so wrong. Therefore, Minister of Sports, I think they have done so wrong. Our government gave us a lot of promises in 2013 about the sport. In 2017, we were given promise of the stadiums being completed in 3 months' time, their campaign period. And up to now, most of them, they are just a bushy, plain field. Therefore, that ministry has failed totally, but it should be the ministry that owns the youth by hand. We have so many youth who are engaged in different kind of sports, different kind of activities that they should form part of recreation. But the money that is taken by people, I have so many people who I know they work there, and some even family relatives. But what they do there is just to go eat money, fatten their account, and fatten their bodies. Then we have tourism, another ministry that should bring Kenya a lot of money and a lot of value. But since Balala campaigned with Uhuru in 2013 and he was given that ministry, he has held it for the last 8 years, going 9. But there is nothing to smell about in the Ministry of Tourism. I know Minister of Tourism has so much asset here in Kenya. They have a lot of open land. If at all, they may blame the COVID-19 for what has happened in the tourism ministry now. But when you take them back from 2013, they have done nothing at all. The hotel owners in the coast region, they are closing their hotels, meaning that our government has totally failed there. It's better to speak the truth and be on the safe side of the books. Then communication, Mushero, he is trying here and there, but still there's nothing much to see there in accordance to what we were promised by Ruto government about the digital government. Actually, it's more of analog than Kibaki left it, if I may say. Then Treasury, its work is to collect money from Kenyans, form a cabal to save for this money, and then people are told go and step out of the office. They are paraded in the courts. At the end of the day, they will go home and you will hear them vying for big seats in Kenya. And an insult to our conscience, these people will get the.
Mugambi. Maybe respond to Francis Mwembe Mbesi. in the comment section
I think
is,
yes,
is
yes,
arguing
this
that
guy,
that you are only focused on the negative. Are there positive achievements?
I think this guy is using, he is not using his ears to listen, and if he's using his ears, he is not using his mind to think. Because I've said, for example, in the Ministry of Education, I've said they have tried in the free education. But apart from free education, we have other challenges that have engulfed the Ministry of Education. I've touched the negative and the positive. Come to the Ministry of Energy. I've talked about the Gamia 1, Gamia 2 oil, but I've said they have done something in electricity, meaning that's a positive and negative. Maybe his mind is so much in the negative trajectory that he can't listen to the few things that the government have done. Furthermore, if a government has failed by 60%, what do you expect it to, what positive things do you expect to get anyway? Then we have the Minister of Transport. That is where Uhuru has really tried a lot. He has opened so many roads. He has opened so many highways. We have seen the port of Mombasa. We have seen the Kisumu port. We have seen the railway. I think in the mega infrastructure and in the Ministry of Transport, that is where he has really invested so much, of which we welcome it, and it's only elites who will be able to see that Uhuru has done his work. For a common mind or a common man, you will see these advantages. I think 3-4 years after Uhuru has left the government, and these projects have been fully completed and they are running. So in the Ministry of Transport, Uhuru has done so much with that. Then we have another ministry that Uhuru has. I don't know who is the minister, but this is the ministry that should be the backbone of his government, but it has failed him so much. The Ministry of Industrialization, day in, day out, we are getting that the most industries in Kenya are dying. There are no new industries. There are no incentives to empower you people to create good industries. Most of the industries that we have in Kenya now, they are private, of which they have been highly hit by what is happening. And for example, look at the KMC, the Kenya Meat Commission. That is something that should empower our livestock farmers. But when it was in the hands of the civilian, it was totally messed up with. There was no payment, there was a lot of debts, but when Uhuru used his people in uniform to streamline it, it is working. And that is one of the reasons as to why I think Uhuru, his decision to use the military people in some of his in some of the sectors in the country is good, because those people are disciplined. And if you want to know they are disciplined, go to KMC now. The farmers are supplying their livestock there. They are given 14 days, and then thereafter they get their pay. But before, someone could take their livestock there, it take like 3, 4, 7 years until you forget. And then you realize the same leaders who are in power, them or their proxies, they were being used to supply the livestock to that KMC. What do you expect? The son of a powerful man or the daughter or the uncle will go and buy at a very cheap price to the farmer. He will bring to KMC. He will sell 8-10 phones, meaning that money is still going to the same people. Away from that, we have the land, Minister of Land. I can say Uhuru has really tried so much. I know land is a sensitive matter in Kenya.
Mugambi, just a slight interruption. Waswa, kindly, you can leave and then come back. I see you are not connected either to the mic or to the whole system. So you can leave and come back.
Thank you. So I was in the Ministry of Land. I was saying land is a very sensitive matter. And okay, give a devil its due. Uhuru has issued the most title deeds. Let us give him credit there. He has tried to repossess the grabbed land, public land, which is good, although he has created so many enemies in that direction. But that's a welcome. In the Ministry of Land, I can give him a B minus or a B plus or a B. Then we have defense. I think our country, when they go to power, we end their terrorist issue. But up to now, if you hear of a terrorism issue, it is one in a blue moon, of which the men in uniform, they are trying their best. In short, I think Uhuru, I can give him 40% in his scorecard. And most of his marks have gone with the Ministry of Tourism, which should be one of the most important, Ministry of Industrialization and Sport and Energy. If we did this, at least if he pumped a lot of resources there and the young people of integrity there, he could get something more than 40%. Then go to governance. I think when we devolved the functions to the counties, we devolved one of the very dangerous vice in Kenya, corruption. We thought corruption was only in national government, but when it was devolved, we devolved the same issue. Like Meru County, you realize that the people who supply or who bid for tenders in that county, in one or the other, they must be at least be attached to the governor or the deputy governor, meaning all the money that we get to counties is getting to very few families, which is so wrong. And not only Meru County, most of the counties, they have performed below the bar, because according to the money that they have got in the devolution, we need to get something better than what they are doing. Most of them, they will give so much promises, but on delivery, they give their people, their cronies, they reward their political supporters. At the end of the day, when you reward your political supporter or your chief campaigner, what do you expect? He is going to minimize on the cost of implementation and maximize on the profit of the side. Meaning we are going to get the substandard projects. Go to MPs. MPs they have their CDF, which is 156 million, which should go purely on security and education. When you talk of security, they need to at least initiate the, how do we call the police camps? Most of them, they have not done so. Build schools, classrooms. Most of them, they give their campaign managers. Where they give them, what do we expect? Of course, we expect these people to minimize on costs, maximize on their return. At the end of the day, you'll get a class that is, its quotation is BQ is 1.2 million. But when you go to do your analysis or your audit, you realize in that class you have to do like 500,000. Very poor outcome from a lot of resources employed. Go to women rep. I think women rep, most of them, what they have done, it's social capital. And in social capital, I mean, they have given their gap money to the merry-go-rounds and all those support groups in our societies, and we can't read them whatsoever. Because if you give me money to go and begin my business, and I want to return the money to you, there are no standards for measuring that. So for women rep, I really don't think we have any scorecard for them. Those are just flower girls to fill the constitutional requirements. For the MCAs, they work at the mercy of the governor. So if your MCA does not sing to the tune of the governor, you'll get no project. If he does, you'll get a lot of projects. Away from that, I said when now we're in the campaign mode, and as we go to 2022, let us see these leaders, what they are telling us. Let us analyze their campaign promises. Are they smart? Are they specific? Are they measurable? Are they achievable? Are they realistic? Are they time-bound? And saying achievable, they should give us a promise and they give us like a way on how they are going to implement that. Which policies are they going to champion, to implement whatever they are saying? Because as of now, if any leader gets to office and he is promising something that he can't explain, that's a leader bound to fail. That said, I think I'm done with Kesa. For Uhuru government, what he has done,
Yes,
he has
hello, someone has an issue with you. Someone has an issue with you. It's the same Francis. He says, please be gender sensitive. You mean women reps do nothing, really?
What I've said is,
you said the
let me say that. Let me say that without blinking my eye. Women reps, they are flower girls. who are given office to fulfill the two-third gender rule. If not so, they get the NGAF money, which is 60 million plus. What do they do with that money? They will go and give you that money is given to them to give to people, not to return. You will go to border guys, give them that money. That money, when it goes, it goes. So how will you measure it? Those are just flower girls, and I think with all due respect, I respect women. I have a wife, I have sisters, I have a mother, but we need to look at that office. If we can't look for other ways of changing that office to implement its mandates, let it remain as a Senate. You have no money to give out, but you are there to champion for the county because a women rep stands for the county. Let them now work as the oversight to the county to get the Senate. But giving it the money, there's nothing. That money is going to the waste. Because when you look at the Auditor General's report, even himself, he can't articulate on what that money is used for. Thank you. I think I can't see what I've said.
Sara, tetea watu wako.
Watu gani?
Women rep. Ama utaki kuwa women rep?
I'm also an aspirant, but
Yeah.
what Mugambi has said, hakuna kazi yenye women rep wanafanya. They are only flower girls, or they give out the funds to their cycle of their own. If you are singing your tune, she will give you the money, and if you are not singing, you will never get the money. The groups, when you are singing, you will get the money.
Wacha Sara
Rupia.
you respond. Rubia, wacha Sara
Wewe
malize then you
nyamaza hapo,
respond.
Rupia. I think you will be given your time. So what Mugambi has said, this is the first time I'm supporting Mugambi on this. Women reps are just flower girls. Hakuna kitu ingine wanatusaidia. They are there only to sing the tune of these guys, nothing else. So please, kama hiyo kiketi inaweza tolewa kwa constitution, wacha itolewe. We get this one. Kama unataka kuomba, enda MCA, enda MP, ingia governor and senate. About women rep, wacha itolewe. Hiyo pesa ni ya kuringa naye na kukatwalk na matusi yenye isaidii Kenya.
Umefanya nitoe curtain nicheke tu, usikie kama ninacheka. Okay, Rubia, what did you want to say? What do you want to say?
Let me tell you one thing. You know, people are measured based on the task they are given. And if we look at the current constitution, the people who should be ranked number one are the women rep. Because which task were they given? They were not given any task apart from representation, which I think they are doing. But the other guys who are given tasks of implementing serious issues about this republic have not done so. So for women rep, I think you are missing the point because hakuna kazi yenye walipewa ambayo hawajafanya. Wamefanya kazi yao ya representation vizuri. Whether you see it's not adding up, but as per the constitution, it builds the country. I have
Maybe
a
let's
request.
ask on the issue of gender. Have they articulated well issues of gender?
Who is supposed to articulate it?
Women reps.
Issue of gender. So there are a lot of issues about gender. Maybe you can be specific. Which area?
No, I wanted you to pick any and say, in this arena, we have seen them do this in terms of gender.
I'm not.
Yeah, because I have seen them very vocal on the issues to do with the gender. Anything that comes on the floor that touches on gender, they will stand on the top of the seats to make
Gender,
sure
but
that
they only talk about one gender and they leave the other one. It's okay. That was not my main issue. I was just correcting somewhere. Oh, Mugambi has drawn my
I think
attention.
Baraza, about gender, I think this women rep could stood for boy child and girl child, not girl child alone. Even boy child is a child somewhere. So hii story chama wanasimamia child child, mimi hapo siwezi kubaliana. Even if I will be given to rule the seat that I want now, I will see both sides, gender, about the boy child and the girl child. Saizi kuna vijana wanasema saizi ati kwa sababu msichana amepata mimba anataka kurudishwa shule. Si ni kweli? Sasa unajua mimi, I think this discipline comes from the parent upwards. So if the parent is not very careful about the child, hii story ya kununua simu sijui ya kufanya nini, alafu ikilete shida, mnasema tunataka kusaidia girl child. What about the boy child? For example, kama ni mimi nimezaa boys peke yake, they will not assist me. So we need to, these women rep, they need to see the boy child and the girl child.
Someone on the comment says FGM. Is that part of their role? I don't know.
FGM is only in this part of area, not everywhere.
There's something I was saying before I forget. Let me finish.
Kindly finish, and then Tony, ask your question. Then we go to Bernard to make his
John
contribution.
has drawn my attention somewhere about the issue of corruption. You know, gentlemen, this is the vice that is eating us in this country. Corruption is not just taking bribe, but if you look at everything that we are doing, starting from development to distribution of national cake, call it, corruption has affected. For example, take one example. We have the affirmative action. This affirmative action is supposed to look at women and youth. So you find out that there is somebody somewhere who is very senior. He has actually registered a company as a woman. He has also acquired Agpo. And this guy is not a woman. He's not a lady. He's not a youth. They have Agpos. And then for the tenders that are meant for youth and women, you know, the requirements are always lesser. So they go and scoop the main tenders. Again, they come and scoop the affirmative action tenders. In doing all this, the youth doesn't get what they deserve. The women doesn't get what they deserve. The disabled doesn't get what they deserve. Again, in employment, you find that in employment in the county governments or even the national government, bribes are given. If you cannot buy the job, you won't get it. It means that a small boy who has just finished his education in university or college somewhere, who cannot buy a job, a government job, will not get employment. And this is also corruption. So you see how this thing is eating us. It is it's eroding the state. Forget about bribe ya polisi, hiyo ni kidogo. Hii ya kazi, and these ones that are major, and they affect. Look at the people who are supposed to check corruption. Who are they? They are the richest people in this country, starting from the auditors. They are building gorofas everywhere. Look at the EACC. They are building everywhere. Look at the judges. They are building everywhere. So you wonder that where are we heading? The courts are corrupt. Don't even blame the executive itself. The executive might be trying just by saying, but the institutions that are meant to fight corruption are dead in this country, and they are enriching themselves through corruption. And this issue should be looked at in totality. We don't need to laugh about it, because there are projects that are meant to help wananchi. They have also gone to corruption. People have pocketed huge sums of money that are meant for projects. So in the long run, it's the mwananchi that suffers. Because if there's a water project somewhere that was supposed to be implemented to completion, it was implemented, not completed, or the materials that were used there are insufficient. And then in the long run, it doesn't meet the functional requirement. So you don't get the service. So next time, Bwana Wekesa, when we are discussing here or debating here, bring a topic. Just bring a topic called corruption, and we dissect it, and we go through it, and we give suggestions on how this corruption should be done away with. And we look at these people who are also corrupting this country, people with a record in corruption, we've seen them. They should also be done away with. They should be not be let to be anywhere near positions, influential positions like State House and other positions in this country. So corruption is eroding our state. Corruption is spoiling everything for us, while we keep on making noise on the street that this is what so and so is good, so and so is not good, so and so is good. It is not making sense at all. If the Jubilee government did not fight corruption, they have nothing to tell us that they can do better in these coming years. So corruption, we have to discuss that thing here next time.
Thank you. Let's have Tony ask his question, then Bernard to make his contribution on the topic. Just to remind you that the topic is still campaign promises. What are the funniest campaign promises you have ever received, either from your MCA, MP, woman rep, senator, governor, or presidential candidate? Is Tony around? If he's not there, then Bernard, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Kesa. Good evening, everyone. Happy to be back again on this platform, and excited about tonight's topic, promises, campaign promises. I will not get into giving examples of campaign promises because since I began voting and participate in politics, I've had so many things. But one government or one party that has given ridiculous promises, or rather, I would just say that politics changed from 2013 to date. We have never had such a hyper of promising things just for the sake of getting votes. It began in 2013. We thought it was just normal, but it escalated in 2017. And right now where we are, I fear for this country because we seem to be so caught up into people being promised this and promising that just for the sake of promising. And the reason I'm so much concerned is because we are quickly drifting away from questioning some things simply because we think saying it is political, it gives us a right to lie and take people for a ride and just, play with people's minds. I would want to quote a scripture, Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 34, a very strong scripture. It says, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. We are so much as Kenyans have been carried away by lying on platforms in the pretext of seeking votes to where now anybody can say anything and get away with it. Anybody can promise anything, and as long as that is on a political platform, it is not a big deal. This has not been the case from the past. If I look back in the history of Kenyan politics, politics had a conviction. Politics had a patriotism, a heart for the nation, a conviction for the future, a sense of responsibility whereby everybody chose what they said because it would lead the nation either in the right path or in the wrong path. Where we are right now, I don't think that is happening, and it explains why we are having what we are having. One of the alarming things is there are two main ministries in the government that nobody should be joking with. Number one is the Ministry of Health, and number two is the Ministry of Education. I don't see why somebody can be giving empty promises on the health of the people and on the education of their children. I don't see why somebody could capitalize on messing up these two critical services that the government should be offering to her people and say it was politics. Why are we turning politics to be a game of playing with the lives of the people? It is important that we wake up and appreciate that looking for public office needs us to be more responsible, because the future doesn't look good when adults lie with a straight face without blinking and they laugh about it. We are not providing the right example, and we are not laying the right foundation. And if the children learn that from us, they are going to be better than us. Mtoto wa nyoka ni nyoka. Mwana umleavyo ndivyo akuavyo. So our nation is at a risk right now because we have lied, we have fought to preserve a lie, and that lie has caught up with us. And right now, some are going now 180 degrees, running away from the promises they gave because the promises have become too much and the delivery too low. I want to speak to all of us, especially those that are aspiring to join politics and have a stake in politics. Kuna mwanahabari mmoja alisema siasa ama wanasiasa siasa ni uongo uliopambwa na ukweli. Okay? As much as you may be forced to garnish your lies with truth, I don't think we should be running a nation on lies. We should run a nation on truth. We should run a nation on justice. We should run a nation on things that are the uncompromised standards. We should reach a place where ikifika kwa maisha ya watoto, hapa siasa kando. Ikifika kwa health ya wananchi, hapa siasa kando. Ikifika kwa future ya vile nchi itaongozwa, hapa siasa kando. Na hiyo, that irreducible minimum is what made politics in the past to be something that people were taking their life to die for. But today, we are lying over everything and playing with everything. And I want us to at least come back to our conscience and begin to see that, somebody asked a child, they say, when you grow up, what do you want to be? And he said, when I grow up, I would like to become a cartel. And they say, why do you say cartel? And say the cartel, because everything in the government is say cartel. Cartel did this, cartel did this, cartel did this. So I want to be that person that is curtailing everything. Now, I know I will be judged because I am from the church world. I didn't bring you a Sunday sermon. I'm just pointing out there are some excesses that our politicians are calling us into that will plunge this country into a dead end. And we don't want that. So if you want a public office, kuja na ukweli. Na kama lazima useme uongo, usicheze na maisha ya watu, usicheze na afya ya watu, na usicheze na masomo ya watoto. Let's be a little bit serious to some degree, whereby lie about everything else, but when it comes to life, be true. When it comes to health, be true. When it comes to the future, get serious. Tuache mchezo. Naomba nimalizia hapa.
Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. Tony, you had a question?
Therefore, even Judas Iscariot did a very good and important role to make us have salvation.
Tony? Unmute first, you are talking and you are on mute. Unmute first, Tony.
Is that good?
Yes, now you are clear. Proceed.
Okay. Yeah, let me say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah, let me start with leadership without morality is dead. And ethics is the driving mode of good leadership. The problem with ourselves is that our minds are fixed to certain leaders as liberators of our lifestyles and the upkeeping of our economy, which always frustrates us once they're in the offices. Now, who can tell me his life is better off before 2017 elections than it is today? The same politicians that vied for top leadership probably are the ones which are gonna come, who are going to be there 2022. Yet we are behind them so much and so strong because ni watu wetu. How different do you expect after another 4 years you're gonna give them, or 5 years you're gonna give them, they're gonna do better? When we were growing up, we used to be told, nyinyi ndio viongozi wa kesho. Sasa wewe kesho yako ni gani na itakuwa lini, and how good is it gonna be? And now maybe probably we are parents na watoto wetu na wao tunawaambia wao ndio viongozi vya kesho. Anyway, to the point. Let me speak about hiyo kitu ya women representation in parliament or in the Senate, wherever. I like the idea that they are flower girls, especially the nominated ones. The criterion of choosing those people, you can tell me, I bet, it is more than qualifications. Who do you think they are serving? And what good have they brought to our constituencies since they entered there? Now, sasa, unajua, for those ones wenye walikuwa ile time ya Moi, there was a time when you finished from college, you used to be like from university straight away you go to a job. Of course, we understand that time the universities were very few, about two of them, and the people were getting jobs. Later on, wakaanza kusema you have to tarmac Tamaking means that you carry your basha or your small bag going from one office to another looking for a job. That is when people started realizing hii mambo ya tribalism. If you do not have anybody you know in a certain ministry department, you are not getting that job. You go to an office that you have to speak the language of the boss of that office before you're given a job, or before you are even given access to the boss. In fact, the same thing has been flipped right now. You are being called hustlers. There's nothing, hustling means that you are struggling from scratch every day to make a living, no matter whether you have education or not. In the same government that we put these gentlemen in, walituambia they were the millennium people. And then they also promised us that kids were going to be given laptops. And you know those things started. Where did they go? Now they have come up with other stories. Well, probably somebody else aliingilia kwa mlango, kwa dirisha, mlango wa nyuma ameenda bedroom kukaa huko. Now, you see, what they promised 10 years ago, they never fulfilled. Now they want 5 more years. They have not fulfilled. How old will your child be by that time? Why do we keep on getting played like this? Young people, wake up. If you don't wake up, you will just die poor as an hustler. And if you accept to be called an hustler all the time, or you are tamaking all the time, yes, you condemn yourself to be so. Wacha niseme kitu moja. Mi naongea kutoka out of the country. Na kitu kilinifanya nikuje hapa nje ni kwa sababu hiyo shida ya kutembea kutoka kwa ofisi mpaka ingine na qualifications zako na hakuna mtu anakuona. Unaenda unapiga interview, unaona umefanya mzuri, uitwi. Na hiyo ndio shida kubwa. Sasa ndio wengine sisi tukaamua to fight to go away to hell with Kenya that time. That was the mood. Lakini after kuona maisha nje, tunaona kama hakuna bahari pasuri kuliko nyumbani. Be it west, north or south, home is the best. And now we are ready to fight for our people. Sasa, unless you interrogate and carefully scrutinize the people who comes before you, those women rep will be there, na wengine watakuwa chosen kama ma flower girls mmesema, na wengine watapewa direct tickets because they are diehards of their parties. Na wewe mwenye unaitwa hustler utapaki huku. For instance, now when this government, the Chubri government, came to power, the child who was 1 year old, how old is he now? And if you just put this system again, they give you some other promises again to power, how old will be a child? Na wewe? And that is the problem. If you want to be someone, wake up. If you don't wake up, you will be left sleeping. And that is how this song of saying ni mtu wetu, mimi na die hard, mimi ni hustler. And I do not, nisiwekelei mtu mwingine yoyote chini, lakini nasema kuna watu wengine hata hawastahili kupiga kura, because ile kitu wanapigia kura ni ile kitu inawaletea shida baadaye. Ama ile kitu inagandamisha watoto wao ama jamii zao. Sasa kama ukipata mtu kama mtu useme Kama uko na mtoto mmoja na ujui kuchunga, kwa nini upate wa pili, wa tatu, wa nne, wa tano? Yeah. And it's just like parenthood. Hakuna shule watu wanaenda kwa parenthood. Lakini hata parent mzuri, hata ukiwa na we ni unamwamini Mungu sana, unawachukua watoto wako shule, unawachukua kanisa.
Kama UDA tumesimamia wanyongwe katika taifa letu, katika community zetu, watu wenye njaa.
Leader Raila Odinga is meeting party delegates from there, specifically the Kisumu Central constituency. He's currently speaking. Let's listen in.
Unity, peace and liberty, plenty be found within our borders. In the Bible, a country where the plenty is found is called which country? Canaan. Isn't it? That is the Canaan we're talking about. That we can call Canaan. By realizing the dreams of the founding fathers of our nation. And that's why we said it can be done. And I told Uhuru, let us forget about what has happened. Yaliyopita si ndwele. Naganga yaliyomo ni yajayo.
Okay. Is Tony there or he dropped? Yeah, those are some of the party promises. Huko UDA tunaambiwa tunashughulikia wanyonge. Huku ODM tunaambiwa tunaenda Canaan. Tony's back. Yeah, remove your name and continue.
Yeah, sijui ulinifanya aje.
No, I think iliwekwa clip just to show the party promises, but proceed.
Okay, all right. Sasa hizo promises ndio shida. Sasa unajua kitu nataka niseme ni hivi. Of course, we have to be very careful in the choices we make, and of course the choices have consequences. Sasa we have to change, the young people have to change the mindset concept of leadership of our country. Shida tuko nayo ni hiyo ya pesa kidogo kidogo tunapewa wakati wa kura, alafu tunanunuliwa, alafu watu wanaenda kuchilipa for the next 5 years ile pesa walitupea. Yeah. Let's choose people with history and morality, or if that's with the quality of life they live. You cannot send fisi kukuchungia kondoo zako na we expect hizo kondoo zikuje nyumbani. By at the end of the day utapata sile nono ndio zinatolewa. If you go to if you have kama uko na mtoto kwa shule, ujue mwalimu mkuu anapigana na deputy yake. Of course you will remove that child from that school. Yeah, because you will realize that hiyo italeta shida kwa walimu kufanya kazi pamoja ndio wasaidie watoto wapite. So these are obvious things. No matter what the president and his deputies went through, that's immaterial for us, but the promises they gave us, they never fulfilled. They should be charged equally for the same. They were one in that ticket. It doesn't matter what happened. The social contract we signed with them was for them to deliver within the 4 or 5 years, not to come to us with excuses that huyu alifanya hivi, huyu akusikia, huyu alifanya hivi. They should be charged equally. I don't support anybody, but I support our young people changing mindset in the kind of leadership they want. Sasa hiyo ndio mimi naweza nikasema, na asante.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we have Tolos who has just come in. After Tolos, I think everybody can give their their concluding remarks on the topic. Today is Sunday. Watu walale mapema.
Bernard, before Tolos, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, carry on, Sarah.
I wanted people to go to the topic of today, because I'm seeing people are talking only about the president. They are not talking about the scorecard they were given from their area MCA to their governor, to their MP, to the senator, and then to the other one up there. So can they start from the MCA? Because even Tony,
Yeah.
I've not heard about his MCA, the MP, and whichever the even if they are in abroad, they hear what these people are doing on the ground.
Yeah,
That's a
maybe.
good one. Thank you.
Yeah, kindly try to work on that. Tony, do you have any information about your MCA, MP,
Yes, I do.
or your member of parliament?
Yes, I do. Wamefanya nothing. Kule kabisa. Sasa, this is the whole show. Unajua, every leader has a jurisdiction of leadership, and there are resources that are directed to that office, and we charge them according to how they have utilized the resources that they got to that office. The MCA, of course, they beg from the governors, and as it is the law now, it depends on what is given from the governors, on how they relate with them. They have done nothing, actually. And then they come to the MP. In fact, it's a mystery what they are doing with those millions of shillings they are getting. It's a mystery. But they are getting the money. And the promises they are doing is only just a pinch of what they are given is just a sin. Pesa mingi ile mahali wanatumia ni kutengeneza chai na yeye kutengenezea safari zake kwa ndege kwenda huku na huku. And that is what they are doing. And the people yeah. Wacha niachie hapo tuongee baadaye.
I hope it is my turn. Good morning.
Sorry. Good morning to you. How are you?
Fine, mkubwa. Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you, very nice.
Aya,
Oh.
endelea.
Okay, so my sister said, Carbon has just said, let us start from the ground, the MCA going up. There are people like the first-time MCAs. You remember they were really putting the governors on toes. They really try to check on the excesses and everything that the governor was supposed to do was in order. And there was a lot of
try to
What is that?
Sorry, just carry on. There was somebody who has his Nini on. Oh. Unmute and continue. Tolos, unmute and continue.
It is automatically muting. I don't know why. I hope it's all right now. So the MCAs in the first term were really doing what they are supposed to do according to the constitution. Then on the second term, ikawa sasa there is something called kuchanuka. What they did, they started taking all the contracts and sharing among themselves with the governor. So the issue of devolution nowadays, the MCAs even giving promises. Nowadays, they are the ones doing roads, they are the ones opening roads, and at the end of the day, they are the ones benefiting, even the governors. If you look at nowadays, most of no governor is being impeached, or there is nobody who is complaining about governors, because already they are. Every MCA now has something in the you cannot talk at the same when you have something in your mouth, because you use the same mouth to eat and to talk. So those guys now, like the other day, I was seeing MPs who are complaining about chairman of IEBC. They are sitting MPs courtesy of Chebukati. They are the ones who are saying his guy missed the last general election. But funny enough, these guys are MPs. I don't know who should be complaining. Is it the losers or the ones, or them themselves who should be complaining? They didn't lose, so they cannot tell us that they won because Chebukati rigged them in. I wonder. Now, on the issue of promises, when you get into politics, and I'll tell you for free, starting from down going up to the head of state, those are people who will promise you castles in the air. They'll build castles in the air. At the end of the day, 1% or less than 10%, they are going to deliver on what they had promised. They had promised the electorate. It is because of the way things are. You really try to hype your promises if you want to get the seat. That is why, if you look at those who want to become presidents, starting from Ruto, is promising something called bottom-ups model, and people have bought the idea. There are also others who are promised. If you listen to Mudavadi, he will only tell you, "I'm coming in on a platform of uchumi, number one. Number two, uchumi. Number three, uchumi." And people have also bought that one. They are saying, "No, this guy is now talking about economy." And that is how will you gauge? How will you gauge? Because if you look at the international recession, it is really hurt by the coronavirus. There is no country now who is well off. People are struggling. Countries are struggling. If you look at Raila, he's telling us manufacturing. There was this issue of the 4.44, the agenda 4 of Jubilee. At some point, we thought we were on track. Suddenly, other things came up like BBI, and it took the center stage, and there was nothing else which was going on. So, a lot of things happen in governments. A lot of diversionary things happen. And the moment, even when people are looking for seats, they are carrying a baggage. There are people who are financing them. there are people who support you by hook and crook. And when you are sent to power, those are the same guys who will tell you, no, if it was not because of me, you would not be sitting in that seat. So even as much as we want to criticize anybody who is coming who is in power, who will come, we are still being, the forest will just change. Yes, I know. But the same monkeys, they are the same monkeys. They are not going anywhere. So maybe I'll come back later, but that's my contribution as for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tolos, for your contribution. Community has just stepped in. Quickly make your contribution.
Tolos, thank you for your submission. My question is, you are saying that maybe Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, since when he shook hands with his brother Raila Amolo Odinga, maybe he has not done anything. It is BBI. Kindly, can you tell me, did you see Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta working with Raila Amolo Odinga to Narok, Kisii, Meru? Because me, I saw Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta maybe in the Bomas of Kenya, but all these countrywide, the very person who was working, selling BBI, he was a different person. Can you really confirm to us that you saw Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta leaving the 4 agendas, walking around selling BBI?
Thank you for the question. I also wanted to ask, but I realized as a moderator, let me withhold it. Tell us, can you answer that?
No. Community.
Do you know what? People who have,
Hello?
they were together in Kisii and they were together in Kakamega. And even if he was not there, the message was there.
Over BBI.
The message was there.
No, your argument was he abandoned the agenda of Jubilee to focus on BBI. And the president made sure that he is not participating in those things until even from the team of Tangadhanga, we were being told that Raila anachezwa because Nikamba president is not interested in this thing called BBI. So how did it change then to become like a president concentrated on BBI when people were saying the president looks like he's not interested in this thing Nikamba Raila ndiye anapush to. I think we need to revise our information and share the truth. I know you may not believe in BBI, but I don't think your position makes sense that president abandoned
no,
project to focus on BBI.
Do you know? I don't know whether you are listening to me.
Let him respond.
I don't know whether you are listening to me or because the issue of Uhuru Kenyatta, you are the one who started. I heard from you about Uhuru Kenyatta. I was saying the government. and the whole attention. In fact, as we speak, a lot of money has been spent by this government in campaigning for BBI. And you want to tell me Raila was using his money to campaign for BBI unless you live in Ethiopia?
Tolos, you are avoiding to answer the question. You have said the government abandoned the Big Four agenda to concentrate on the BBI. The head of the government is the president himself. The president has been in Lam to launch, to open the port that they were working on.
Can I
The
answer?
president has been busy around the country working on infrastructure. He was in Kisumu to open the port, the revived port, the rehabilitated railway line, and I can go on and on and on. So when did BBI interfere with Big Four agenda? Is it not just a tanga excuse to find a football in what doesn't exist?
Bernard. Hello?
Franco.
Yes, sir.
Nataka kujibu hilo.
Yes, let me say,
Yes.
on the issue of BBI, Machalsi was not moving the president, but according to what was on ground, when the handshake happened, it created a lot of mistrust. And there was infighting that most people abandoned what they were supposed to do. It is right now that they're trying to do things that they would have done back then. Just the handshake brought the mistrust.
Who abandoned what?
Which is which? You know, you guys who support the DP, we have no problem with you supporting the DP. And we have no problem with you suggesting that the DP is not in good step with the president because of the handshake. You are allowed to do that. But when it comes to giving information, it is good to give accurate, factual information. Even if you are coming, if I get arrested and you are coming to help me witness in court, you will not come to hold brief for me by excusing me because my wife is the one that pushed me and I am the one that pushed her, and you saw something like that. You will not be helping me. You will be complicating my case further. So the best thing for you guys to do is just state the affairs. We are looking at the scorecard of Jubilee and the promises they gave us. If they scored, let's say they scored. If they did not, let us say they did not. And not find a lame excuse for them over nothing. This will not stop you from voting for them. From the look of things, some of you have already made up their mind. Even if we will live here forever telling you that hiyo njia mnaenda sio salama, pia hapana, tuende huko kufika kwanza tutajua kama ni salama ama sio salama. So hiyo sisi hatupingane na nyinyi.
Bernard.
Yes.
Franco, I have a question for
Wait,
you.
before you ask, the issue I think we even talked about yesterday. What happened is the handshake formed a weaker relationship. But in real sense, that handshake was to strengthen government services. But it landed on a weaker relationship, and now there are blame games everywhere. That is the only issue. Because everyone looked at each other as an enemy. Yet the handshake would have strengthened more of the services.
The president he says he has done more at this time than he did in 2013.
Bernard.
So, sorry.
Bernard.
Who is that?
Tolos.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm responding to Nani. Just hold on 1 minute. I am saying, Franco, the president is on record saying he has worked well and better with the handshake than he did in the previous 5 years. So between you, who is an outsider, and the president,
that's a lie.
Driver's seat, who is lying to Kenyans?
The president.
The president. Okay, hold that your thought. Tolos.
Yes.
You know what, Bernard?
Yes.
As we speak, because looks like you in this second term, you have been supporting the government. You have been since 2018. You and your boss, the one you are supporting, has been in this government. can you also stand up and tell us that the Big Four agenda has been on course from 2018 to date? That means we are on the right track. Can you say that without mincing your words?
The Big Four agenda, number one, for your information, it was a Jubilee project. We have not joined the government. What we said as ODM was that the demonstrations and the trying to frustrate the Jubilee government from functioning, we call ceasefire. But the government, you voted for 3 times. We said tutawapatia nafasi wafanye kazi vile walisema watafanya. And that has been happening. And the president says he has had a peaceful working environment. He has done more in the second term than he did in the first term.
Bernard, don't talk from two sides of the mouth, man. You are the same one who was saying that the president has said that he has worked well. Right now, we were talking about the now you are not going back to saying that he has not done anything.
I did not say that. I said he has done more now than he did in the first term.
Yes. Now, when we come to scorecard, I was telling you about the scorecard. There was a deviation. They have not delivered on the Big Four agenda. Now, I've told you the reason. Now, you want to say that is not the reason. What is the reason?
Bernard.
Tolos, I have a question for you.
Bernard, a moment.
Yeah.
Bernard.
I know Jubilee has not delivered on its promises.
Wait.
Even in the first term, there was laptop, it was never delivered. There was the 6-9 stadium, it was not delivered. All its promises from 2013 has not been delivered. But Tolos is selectively, it's Wekesa. Tolos is selectively choosing between 2017 to 2021 because that is the script that suits him. Jubilee has largely not delivered on its promises from 2013.
Wekesa, I know who you will support. You didn't even vote for this government. You didn't even vote for this government. So the thing
that is not the issue. That is not the issue. The issue we brought up this topic, we need to censure the political promises.
Okay.
And so we cannot selectively select what has not been accomplished just because we have a different political narrative. Kindly give a scorecard of Jubilee. From 2013, the promises that were given up to now, I don't know, maybe it's only SGR that was delivered. The rest of them, nothing was delivered.
Okay, let me tell you something. Something. Do you know the what we call electricity connectivity? The percentage which has really gone up from about 30% to now we are almost 80% coverage.
Yeah. Yes,
now,
there is more connectivity between 2017 to 2021 than the first term.
You see what you know. You have put on gloves. And the moment somebody tries to say something, you are ready to punch. You don't even want. You even don't want me to tell you. You see that what we were talking about. What we were talking about when you talk about the scorecard. You remember let me even touch even one thing. Only one thing. The laptops issue. Do you know the best person to kujibu your things about laptops? Is the minister who was the minister for education during the first term. Is really squarely responsible for that. And it's the same.
It is still
guy.
Jubilee. We are talking generally about Jubilee. We have not even singled out someone.
I'm telling you. And he is now the chief. He's now the chief minister. He's now the chief minister. This the person who has
There's nothing wrong with that. It's the same Jubilee. It's still the same Jubilee.
Kesa, one moment. Tolos. I think we are fighting over nothing. Okay, we are not here to prove who is better than the other. We are just asking questions on the performance of the politicians generally. and across board. The promises they gave versus the delivery they did. Tonight, the debate is not about who lied more than the other. We're just saying you are lies from your MCA to your Nini freely. We don't want any campaign for anyone.
Yeah,
so trying to blame the handshake for the performance, we are not even looking for why they did not perform. We want to find what did they not do first. Then we will find why they did not later.
And you know, it cannot go without mentioning the ills and the disease which was there, which is like the handshake, which was
so the handshake is a disease, according to you.
It is part of it.
Kindly tell us kindly tell us you are doing injustice to this topic.
Give me a minute.
Because just what I'm giving you. I began by saying this. The reason why we set up this topic is all of us to look at the campaign promises and see whether people are fulfilling. We never even chose for you which person you can even talk about your MCA. But look at it. Why is it that politicians come up with campaign promises and they are not able to fulfill? We are not here to protect anybody. And that's why even I brought here the clip of Raila Odinga. You can still go and talk about them. Nobody will defend you why he never took his people to Canaan. Talk about the campaign promises. Politicians give things, but they cannot deliver. But if you come here and tear a politician, are you the one who promised? You're not the one who promised. Just allow us to say that this thing was promised to us and it was not delivered. And let there be no excuse why it was not delivered. It's only them. Because in other words, we are saying, even if they got 10%, we are willing to promote them because we can find a reason why they did not deliver. Sarah, you wanted to say something?
No, let me.
I wanted
one word.
Yeah, Sarah, say something.
Yes, tell us. I think the topic here is for campaign promises and what is the scorecard. So what I was expecting from you, it is the campaign promises from your MCA to the MP, to the governor, to the women rep, to the senator, and then to your president. Don't talk about the other things. We are now in the Jubilee government, the government of the day. Wachana mambo na UDA. So can you tell us about your scorecard of your MCA upwards?
Thank you for that clarity.
You see, what I wanted to say was my MCA, my MP, those are tumbocrats. Those are guys who went there to eat. There's nothing, they have nothing to show us. They have nothing to show us as we speak. In fact, it becomes even very difficult for us to criticize people who have not done anything. With the what do we call these senators? The senators, we even don't know what their roles are, because it doesn't have any impact in common mwananchi. Women reps are just, those are just particular for personal. If you are chosen as a women rep, it is beneficial for you and your family. And when we go to the president, that is now the government, which is for like this government, I'll give it 50%.
Bernard.
Okay, you are done, huh?
Bernard, just one thing for Bernard.
Sam is trying to come in, but I think check your mic and then your connectivity. You can leave and come back. I see you have a problem with connectivity.
Hello?
Yeah, you have a question?
Yes, Bernard was saying he's not in government, but we see after handshake, committees changed.
Kindly, Franco, I want you to give a scorecard. You haven't given a scorecard.
No,
you
that's
are
what
just
I'm
defending.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Can you give a scorecard personally? What do you think some of the campaign promises that have not been fulfilled?
No, I wanted Bernard by giving
No,
him that
you was
fact.
first.
Yes,
You was
yes.
first. Give us scorecard first.
A scorecard. I would do genuine, let's say 45. The government, the whole government.
To who?
The government from president downwards, 45.
Who is your MP?
I've just
Huyu ni jirani, achana naye.
At least he has some more connections.
Huyu ni jirani, achana naye. Lakini wacha naomba tu nimweleze 2010 constitution charges the parliament with the responsibility to oversight the executive. So after the 2010 constitution, there is no opposition side and the ruling side. The entire parliament is supposed to oversight the executive. And that is why it was okay for even the people that were in the opposing side in terms of competition were assimilated into the committee. And there are committees like Public Accounts Committee. Those ones are always led by the other side. So that does not mean you have joined the government. You are just running the parliament.
You did a disservice because the 4 years that Raila has kept quiet, government has gone into mess.
Nobody has hired Raila to be talking at this all the time. And nobody is paying Raila for speaking or not speaking. So leave him alone.
Why? Is he not Kenyan anymore?
When did you hire him to do that?
Franco,
hello,
can you give us your scorecard of your MCA, your MP, your governor, and you can even mention their names? Why are you hiding them?
No, I shared some up in the morning.
Start from your MCA. What is the scorecard of your MCA? Go to the MP, go to the governor, go to the senator, and you end it to the women rep, and then you go to the president.
Let me say this, Sarah. During the day, I shared some up with Bernard. He knows. Now, all MPs that cover that area, 45%.
That was you with Bernard, and we are now in the topic with the whole team inside here. So can you tell us?
So, Sarah, let me help Franco. You know, Franco is in Narem, and there are many districts in his area, and they don't have MCAs in Uganda. So you are giving him very hard questions to answer.
No, but let me tell you, Bernard,
yes.
Politics is politics. Even whether you are in Uganda, even if I'm in the US, I can say this is how I can choose a senator of US and say this is my senator in US and this is how he has performed. Even we can benchmark on that. How comes the senator in the US has performed better than us in it? So he has someone who represents him wherever he stays in Uganda. So he should not tell us. We don't even want to know his name. Just tell us, according to me, our MP in this area I stay, this is what is promised, but he has delivered nothing, or he has delivered everything. We just want to learn from that.
Yes.
No, mostly MPs, their promises don't surface. It's only for political talk show, but as I said, the scorecard is always low because when you see them, the rate at which they don't come back to parliament tells a lot.
Ken?
And you guys, do you know why we have a problem now in our elections? It's because when it comes to the scorecard, it's like we don't even have information. But yet, when we come to campaign, we are the same guys who are on forefront, passionately campaigning for, even from MCA, MPs, woman rep, senator, governor, up to the... So why do we campaign for these people and then we cannot ask them their scorecard? Even those who are in diaspora, they support their candidates they are supporting here in Kenya. But if the moment they win, do we go back and check their scorecard? This debate was more centered to the voters, but we are pushing it to our leaders, and it looked like we are at the mercy of our leaders. What is the problem with us?
No, the scorecard for now could be the voters know what they want. If you contest either way, when you're not re-elected, you know that you didn't score to what they wanted. Now the percentages depends on who is deciding on what percentage.
Yeah, you can just say that maybe, for example, my MP is Babu Owino. I voted for him. I'm giving an example. And I voted for Owino because I voted at Aviation Center in Nairobi. So I'm not even giving an ill example. That is where I voted, in Nairobi at Aviation Center. But that is where I was staying. Could I migrate and go and vote somewhere else? That is where I was staying.
Wekesa, we have
okay, wait.
Wekesa, hold on. We are going nowhere with that one. Let's just leave it there.
No, let me ask him a question.
No, let me set the record about Babu Owino once and for all. Okay, as much as we want to prosecute him and sentence him for what he did, from all indications, all of us with our bright faces and good speeches, each one of us has their own skulls in their own cupboard. So let us not amplify one person's skull and write them off. I've asked this question before.
But Bernard, I was going to give a scorecard of Babu Owino because I know the roads he has built.
Let me finish the story of Babu Owino and why he's being looked at. The greatest leader in the Bible, beside Jesus Christ, is Moses. Okay, and Moses is he was a murderer. He killed somebody. He ran away. Still God.
Bernard, are you trying to sanitize this guy?
I am not sanitizing anybody.
The Bible.
You don't have to write off somebody because he did something wrong. David, the greatest, the king of Israel, whom you have been prophesying to us, this is the David of Kenya, the David of Kenya. David had issues. He killed somebody, took his wife, and all that. But still, he's the best king, still celebrated in Israel today. Jesus, whom we all ascribe to, his birth is still questionable today. And that's why he preached for 3.5 years, but he never talked about his birth. Because...
Who is questioning it?
Can I
so,
Bernard, allow me to finish on my MP. I was saying my MP has performed in terms of roads and network. Those parts, the streets in the estates, he has done it. And has done it well in terms of bursary, he has done it well. So our scorecard was based on the promises. However, However,
Franco, hold your horses or we'll help you.
However, he has the character issues that are not part of the promises. That one, he deals with them as a human being. And there, I may not give him a scorecard in terms of character behavior. But when on terms of promises, that is where I was focused. And that is where our debate was. Are you getting the point?
I get you, sir. And actually, why I was not giving a scorecard, hours you have just voted. It is 2 months into office. Now I can't give a scorecard.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But Bernard, our territory, please, maybe it should be in topic next time.
You wait for the new government. When we come for Migingo is when you will know where the territory is. Leave alone that your map.
Bernard.
Yes,
I
sir.
I beg that you help me take a round of concluding remarks. I'm off gears.
Oh, okay, sawa sawa. Those who have just joined us, we will give you the first priority to give your submission, and then we will take one round as we close. Tomorrow is a working day in Kenya. Those of you who are not in Kenya, welcome on board, but we will not stay like we stayed the previous 2 days or the other times. So can we hear from Sam?
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much for this. Before I start my submission, you know the examples that can be used for your information, Bernard. You know, we are human beings, and those examples which you're using, there were people who were doing the work of God, and there were people in line in a different mission. So for you to compare people on the Bible, especially the servant of God, and the people who are doing things which you can, I don't want to go there. It's very wrong. We rather pick other examples to use them for your
Were they ghosts?
point to arrive home.
Are you saying they were ghosts? They were people.
What were they doing?
Franco, hold on, please.
Franco,
Sam,
let me
make
ask
your
you.
point.
Let me ask Franco. Do you know the difference between those people who are serving God and those people who are the leaders of this world?
Everyone serves God.
Can you distinguish between the two?
No, everyone serves God. And you serving
No.
God?
I'm asking you. Asking you.
No,
Please,
look here, Frank. Okay, Sam.
I think
just one
Franco.
moment. Sam, just one moment. If you continue going that line, we are going to begin to open the Bible. I will refer you to Romans chapter 13, verse 1, all the way to verse 5 there. You'll find that all authorities are from God. All power is of God. And then he says, if you obey the law, you're okay. But if you disobey, the people that are in the authority don't hold the sword in vain. All that is in the Bible. So the tax collectors are serving God. The MPs are serving God in their capacity. You don't have to hold the Bible and say, praise the Lord to be serving God. So don't dig that direction. It will trap you. Make your
Are you sure?
submission.
Okay,
Yes.
it's only because I've got limited time, and I'm very happy would have gone that way because I've got a very short time before I leave. So my point is that the question was very clear that we have to give a scorecard of what our MPs and our people have done. So it was something very simple just to say, because for me, I would say currently I'm not in Kenya, but I can attest and say, like, I know what my MCA has done, who is somewhere in Kitale, somewhere to the near the border of Kenya and Uganda. I would say he's not done that much, because I can see from what from the infrastructure, he's done absolutely nothing. In terms of schools and everything, I would have say he's tried, but not really at the point. And I was very shocked the other day when I saw the office that is currently holding. It was built. I think there was one of the MCA back in 2007 who actually built that place. But you see now the way it is at the moment, you can't tell if it's an MCA office or whatever. So I would say he's done nothing, and it's good. It's high time for the people and the voters to actually see, because he come up with the promises, and if people are trying to reach him, they always tell people like, do you think I need, do I need your vote again? I'm good, I don't need, like, such a kind of people. They should never even be voted in. So just to say. So number two, to my area MP, is done so much, I would say, because I can see in terms of school infrastructure at the moment as we talk, there is a tarmac road from Kitale to Swam, and I would say he's done so much. and also most of the schools within that area has been given buses and teachers, and most of the things are going on. And having done that, I wouldn't say that he's done everything 100%. There's some areas he really need to improve, and those are the things that people should be asking him if in case he's coming in for the next term, of which I'm very sure that he might be going in for another term. So that those are the things that people are asking like now in terms of security, because we've seen so many insecurity cases of security around the border side. And another thing is about health sector. We see so many people walking for a long distance to be to get medical services and stuff. So those are the things that people should be putting on the scorecard to ask, like, now things you've done this and this and this, what about this and this, so that they are also coming in that way to bargain. About Senator, not really much. I've seen him in Parliament. I haven't seen him actually driving really I would say constructive agendas in the Senate. So I would say he's kind of a passive one, but it's upon people on how to see what they can do. About governor, I think as you go to Kitale now, part of the railway line buildings have been put down, and these are the business of these these small business people, and they were evicted, nowhere to go. Some of them, they're crying of their businesses. So I would say in terms of infrastructure, I don't know what is the reason, because one of I think it was 4 months ago, all of railway line building, the shops and everything were brought down. I don't know what they intend to build, if it's a railway, but they should have given these people an alternative place to actually settle their businesses. So in terms of that, I would say he scored actually, because for us to elect them, it's only for they have to center their mind on the interest of the people whom they chose. What do they want? They have to represent their needs very well, and I feel like he did something very wrong. As far as the infrastructure, maybe trying to arrange Kitale town to be in a very good way, because Kitale town has got a lot of border, the motorbikes and everything. So last year when I came to Kenya, it was really hard for me, because I would say I'm used to driving in Australia, and when I was trying to drive in Kenya, it was very hard because of the borders and the stuff. So it was really hard for me. But I would say he has tried as much as he can, though he has not done it to the point, but I know he was heading to the right direction. So another thing also that I want to come is about the government. That's the president and deputy president. I would say there's a lot of things they have done, and there's a lot of things they have not done. And if I was asked for them to come and ask for my vote, I think I wouldn't go and vote for them, because there's a lot of things they've promised. Them is just about politics, is that about using political language. Oh, so and so did this, so that I could not. Every time when you're caught up giving out excuses, justifying yourself, you're not in a better position to be whom you are expected to be. So that's my submission. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes, Bernard. A question.
Thank you, Sam.
A question.
Yes, Franco.
I wanted to know, in Kenya, as per the set guideline, what does the MP do? Does the MP build the roads? Does he construct hospitals? Or an MCA or what? Because that will guide us if we got a topic on what they are supposed to do and what they are doing.
Okay, thank you. The MP in Kenya has 3 major functions. One is legislation, make law. 2 is representation, represent his constituency. 3 is oversight, check the government from excesses. Then,
that's what I know.
Hold on, Franco. If you want to know, you listen. Okay. Now, beside that, on the role of representation. Okay, he's supposed to take to the national government what his constituents need, and if possible, lobby for the government to attend to the needs within his constituents. When that is done successfully, we call it in Kenya, the MP has performed. So we don't mean that the MP uses his money to build the roads. He comes and goes to the Ministry of Roads and says the road so and so that passes in my constituents has been neglected for many years. I want it to be remembered in the budget next time. Then if he lobbies that and the road is done, our MP has performed.
Now, what will you do?
Let me tell you
What will you do to the MP
yes.
who has
the roads in the
presented?
constituency? They are Kera roads. Not roads under Kera.
Tolos,
Sora,
just hold on. You'll be given
wait.
time to speak. Yes,
I
Franco.
was asking, this is an MP who has presented his needs to the parliament to be done, and
Yes.
as per the finance minister, the time they allocate him is not like that fast to work on his area. You'd even find you have left office before they come and work on. How will you judge that MP?
No, it is not just judging. That's why we are using the word lobby. We are not talking about prayer request. We are talking about lobby. Lobby
Yes,
means
lobby.
you go and persuade, persist, and fight, knowing that you have 5 years, and within these 5 years, you need to deliver. So whatever means you can use to get the roads that are supposed to be done by national government that passes through your constituents. If you can succeed in making 5 kilometers, you can come and say, I started 5 kilometers, give me another term, I finish the remaining 30.
Okay.
Whichever the case.
Okay.
Now, Tolos, what was your problem?
It's not my problem. I just wanted to help you about the roles of our member of parliament, especially in the constituency. You see, the money allocated to Kera, the roads which are classified, which are under Kenya Rural Roads Authority, the member of parliament is a signatory, and even he is the one who decides who does what in that allocation, as long as the money has been allocated in the constituency. So you will find that they take a bigger part and they play a very big role in roads which are under Kera. So when you talk about the scorecard, you'll also look at how these guys have performed on the roads under Kera. You talk about CDF. CDF again, they are still, these guys are they also micromanage. Even if there are CDF committees, these guys have a very big stake and say on how that CDF is spent.
I agree with you. I think yes, sir.
I think about CDF. And 2013 to 2017, those MPs, the former MPs, they had given out some projection of some funds. And then from 2017, they were given those funds. So the people who benefited are the current MPs who are now the sitting MPs. And the people who proposed the thing were the former MPs. So if you campaign for yourself for this, you are in 2017 and then you are in this 2013 and then 2017, you are good to go because you are the one who proposed for that thing. But if you never, people are saying now, for example, in my constituency, watu wanasema ati kumbe ule MP alikuwa anakula pesa na kumbe pesa haikuwa inatosha. So ile added advantage with the same MP who is the current one anachukua advantage, anachukua added advantage from the former MP. So there's a allocation of money for CDF more. Double, I think it is How much were they allocated? It is now 40 something million to a sub county. You see, and then the other day, 2013, they were getting around was it 22 million, and now they are getting 45 million. You see that nini difference. And then I wanted to reply about for this guy of is it Kitale huko? He was talking about railways. Nafikiri railways imebomoa kila mahali because there were cartels when wameuza mashamba ya railway. So railway walibomoa, hata kama ni kanisa imejengwa hapo walipita nayo, kama ni mosque walipita nayo because kuna cartels walinunua, walipitia mlango ya nyuma kununua maplots ya railway.
No, Bernard, that issue of railway, I think even there are those who are constructing in the reserves because they didn't put, it didn't just come yesterday. People came to the land of the railway. Now when it is time for shifting them, they are crying foul. That should also be stressed, that people had constructed in the land of the railway.
Yeah, that is part of our corruption system, whereby, in fact, there are people who are hell-bent for the closure and liquidation of Kenya Railways so that those properties can end up into private hands. But we thank God for the salvation. And we hope that this will continue. And with that kind of infrastructure back or in function, that's part of recovering of economy. We will not have a recovered economy without good transport system. And money does not fly in the air. It flies through people's pockets as they travel along. So I appreciate the president for focusing on that. And even if they did not do SGR and just concentrated on rehabilitating this old railway line and refurbished it and made it to function better, they will still have done well in their performance.
Bernard, please, when you're talking about achievements in this government, you say the government, don't say the president.
No, Tolos, look here. The government is headed by the president, and when the president is addressing the nation, he says, my government. It is his personal government. And that is why when he does something wrong, we blame him. When he does something right, we praise him. There is no government of the president and his deputy. There is the government of the president. I
think we need to start some classes for history to Tolos.
We will need to, on this particular platform, I think we will need to start civic classes.
For people like Tolos.
No. Let's
Gabon, you don't be against me. Do you know what your MP is getting 100?
It is not being against you. It's just
your MP is getting 150 million, and you think he's getting 40. So please, we are just asking where he's taking back.
That is an obvious question. The president is the head, and the president is the government. So what is wrong with that?
It's okay. Now we I think on our final leg, let's hear from community Tony. Hey, my Jonathan has not spoken. Hold on, community. Jonathan.
Community had a question for me.
Subiri kwanza Franco. Jonathan.
Yes, leo mmeniweka bench.
The friend of David.
2 hours.
The true friend.
How are you guys?
We apologize. Go ahead.
It's okay. For me, what I can say is like I feel like the government does not fulfill what it promises, because the government promises many things and they have not fulfilled it, because they promise free education. But when you go to schools, when you hear what parents are saying, like they're why should you lie to people that there will be free education when you are launching your campaign or your manifesto? Then when it passes, when you are in the government, you just lie. People are still keep on going and paying school fees, and you say that our school fees will be free for free primary and secondary. So that you can go, or you can enter the government, and when you are there, you're not fulfilling the promises that you promised. That's what I don't understand, you know.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. It is, and that is why we are looking for their scorecard, and then see how we get them in the
Bernard.
Yes.
I think Jonathan could be giving us the scorecard from his MCA upward.
My MCA, imagine. I don't even know my MCAs where I stay. Like in Nyali, in Mombasa, I don't know who my MCA is.
You never voted. Jonathan.
Me? Yeah?
That means you never voted.
Yeah, for me, I don't vote because when I go to vote, because the
So you are
problem
not
is
a
when
Kenyan. You are not now a Kenyan.
no, I'm a
So
Kenyan,
you
but
cannot
why should I vote? And I know very well that when I vote, like my vote will not be counted. Why should I vote then? It's just wasting of my time.
Alafu wakati tunatengeneza budget na budget inakuumiza, utakuwa pia una waste life, sio?
So hakuna kitu utafanya kwa Kenya, wewe umekaa tu kama nini?
No, but only last year I didn't vote, but this time, 2022, I will vote. I will try my best to vote.
Now, Jonathan, one of the things you must carry from this platform is that you must be a bona fide voter in 2022. So, if you don't have voters card, ukitoka hapa uende kwa Chebukati kabla tumutoe akupatie voters card. Yes.
Where Bernard? I'm asking someone to vote. So I think it's a choice, or
it is not that
it is not a
choice. It is important.
Yes,
but
it's important because if you don't decide, the decision you don't make, you empower somebody else to make it for you, but he will always be against you.
It's a choice, but it's not a must, right?
The people who don't vote are the ones that make wrong people get into parliament or get into power, because a difference of one vote can make somebody, a wrong person, get in. So not voting is also voting, only that you vote for the other side.
I am the one who is undecided because I don't know when you are going to the ballot and you don't know who you are voting for. So what you do? Just the people we are undecided, or
get informed, get involved when the campaign begins. You must be aware of. Hold on, okay, Jonathan. Just I'm giving to you, but this is general in terms of our young Kenyans. Okay, we are so much familiar with the outside world than we are with our own nation. You can tell us about Man U and Madrid and the other thing. You describe them as if they live next to your door. But when I ask you the name of the road that passes near your window, you don't know the name of the road. You don't know why it was named that way. And so as young people, please come back home, okay? And familiarize yourself with your environment. Because when all is said and done, you will still have to end up in that village, and the decisions that are being made at the county assembly or at the national assembly will affect you, just whether you voted or not. So it's important that this platform should expose you to that reality and you take it serious. Voting is a very serious undertaking and your civic responsibility. Usikue mtu ambaye watu wanapika chakula hautaki kujua, wakileta unasema iko na chumvi.
Huyo mtu amepotea Bernard, hayuko tena. Amepotea.
No problem. He will watch after this. Yes. That's Franco.
you push such people as Jonathan with their notice because they are wasting your time. Then they make noise. What are they benefiting?
Your audio is not good. Your audio is not good, Franco. Ngoja kwanza tuongea baadaye. Correct your audio.
I'm saying
there is some feedback from your end that is bad.
And now?
Yeah. Franco, you have a problem. Ngoja kwanza. Wait. Yeah. You should insert your earphone properly in the phone, or it is giving a very loud, ugly noise. All right. So Duke has just come in, but community, what do I say? Franco, your audio is not good. Hold on, Kwanzaa. In fact, drop out, then come back. Drop out, then come back. There's still more room. You will get space. Yes, community ancestor.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me this very opportunity in order for me to air my views. And first of all, in fact, I want to thank Mama Sarah for, in fact, when I listen to her submissions, even if she is on the other side and me, because I had nowhere to, I had nobody to maybe from the other side to learn me in order to support them. Maybe so I decided to go the other side. Maybe Madam Sarah, she's having maybe 23 months. In fact, 11 months to convince me, so that I revert my decision I made. But she's a very good mama. Anadipeti vizuri sana. I say long live mama. Now the topic of today about campaign promises. In fact, political campaigns, you find that these are graveyards of real ideas, and the path places you find that these are empty promises. And also, most politicians, they promise us heaven before elections. Once we give them our votes, they take over the vacated offices. Then what we find, it is hell. Now, I want to give an example of 2017. I will start from on top, and then I'll be able, in my final submission, I'll give my scorecard from MCA up to the top. In example, in 2017, before general elections, these are some of the pledges Uhuru and Ruto gave to Kenyans. Number 1, free quality primary education. Number 2, free secondary education. Number 3, affordable housing. Number 4, every Kenyan citizen be connected with electricity by 2020, among other pledges. Now that is where I want to ask Tolos, that he said so far 80 or 85% of Kenyan families, they have electricity. But Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto, they promised us by 2020, they will give us, they will ensure that every citizen has got electricity. So, in fact, in terms of electricity, they lied to us, because right now, every household must be having electric bulb just protruding from top of the roof like this. Now, why does politician don't honor pledges, all of pledges which they give to electorate during campaigns? Number one, if government is a coalition, it becomes difficult to honor. Reason being, you find that there are wrangles here and there, or maybe some of the other side want to outsmart the other. Then number two, we have got what we call politicians are all aware that you can't take them to court.
Community. Thank you for your submission. But since we are winding up, I would love us to restrict ourselves to the topic. Let's just give our scorecard, then we move on. I want everybody to contribute as we close. It is 24 minutes to 2 a.m. in Nairobi, Kenya. So we would want to close this thing finally by 2. Tumetoka hapa.
Yeah, now let me give my final submission about scorecard. My MCA, because he's seen not every now and then, I give him 15%. Women rep, Esther Pasaris, I give her that 5%. My MP, Babu Wino, in terms of Pasaris, in terms of roads connectivities, I give him 60%. My Senator Sakaja, I give him 55%. Governor, there's a problem because Songo was removed. Now Mama Kananu, there's a problem. So Mbadi, because of NMG, I give him 70%. Then my president plus his debut, I give them 50%. I rest my case.
All right, thank you, community. I think that settles that. Let's hear from Duke since he just come. Then we will get the closing remark from Franco Tolos, and then we're out of here. Duke, how are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome. Give us your taking on the politicians, their promises, and the scorecard of the performance of your MCA, your MP, your senator, and the government in general.
First of all, regarding the promises which politicians make, first of all, a person who wants to be a leader must first of all assess the needs of people within his area or nation. So if you are trying to fight for a seat, first of all, you have to understand the needs of those people within that area. And your promises must be focused on solving the issues of those citizens within your area. And it's obvious that most of the promises are not fulfilled. And there are 3 reasons why promises are not fulfilled. The main one is to talk about unrealistic promises. So some people may give promises which cannot be attained in terms of financial and time constraints. So that's one. Number 2, we can also have about unexpected events, like, for example, we have COVID, and some of them may not be fulfilled. And the third one is about misappropriation of funds. So you find maybe you are tempted to take the funds, maybe because the system is compromised. There are no consequences, so you can be tempted to invest your funds and you are left with nothing to implement the promises you made. So basically in Kenya, the main cause has been two. One, it can be, I can narrow it to one, is that there is no resources. Those who give promises, they take power and then they are compromised to steal the funds, all the resources. Regarding the scorecard of the, I don't even know my MCA. So, and it's very difficult for me even to give a scorecard of even the area MP. I know him, but it's very difficult for me even to know what to actually to have a clear benchmark of what he has done or what he has not done. So for me, the buck stops with the president. I know the person who has the mandate and the instruments of power to change the nation, all the citizens within the nation, is the president. And for me, what I can say is this: the president has totally failed us. In a scale of 1 to 10, I can give him 2. That's maybe 20%. And the reason why he has failed us, number one, proper leadership fails. First of all, you have to source funds, or you have to, for instance, the wealthy people, the people who are rich, they are able to have capital. And when you have that capital, you are able to identify an opportunity which will give returns. Then that capital will be able to generate profit. And that's how you grow. But in this case, we have a president who goes and takes around trillions of money. For instance, if you give any person millions, he can go and buy a car. You can go and build a house. So apart from just taking the money, just recklessly taking us into a debt which cannot come out of it, instead of using, for me, first step, that's more the first way the nation should raise money. So he has failed on how to acquire capital. First of all, you have to ensure that there is proper tax correction. In here, for instance, in the Kenyan context, you find that only 50% is corrected.
Okay, Mr. Duke,
yes,
would want you to restrict yourself to the scorecards, not into much details, because we are closing early today. The day is fast spent, and then we have a week ahead of us. We will debate more about that. We will go into the reasons why.
I will be done. I will be done in 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Carry on. Carry on.
So what I can say is this. So he has made a mistake from the first step, how to get money, acquiring resources. You only go to borrowing when the way you are able to generate money within the nation is very difficult. In here, for instance, if you talk about the main source of income is taxation, the current tax bracket we have is enough to generate, like, even, I can say it can correct up to 4 trillion here in Kenya. But the problem we have is that we do not have tax reforms. For instance, if we talk about property tax, houses, the rent tax, even the houses in Kenya are not numbered. So people in Kenya pay rent. That rent is not taxed. We have people have properties all over Kenya. There is no proper tax correction. So it's like we correct tax out to, like, 30% of tax is corrected within the bracket which is there. Then number two, according to the statistics which were revealed, is that we only correct up to 60% of tax, which I even disagree with. And that 60% which is corrected, only half of it gets into the government coffers. So you can see we are able to correct tax to an extent of 50%. And that 50%, almost half of it, it's rooted. It's not so. So the president has failed just from that. And also, after wanting to pull the money from abroad, that money is also stolen. We have projects which are 5 times the actual firing. So it's like you are trying, there is an economic crisis. It's just like he has created an economic crisis in this nation. That's what I can say.
Okay, thank you for your submission. We appreciate everyone. Now we have Themba has just joined us. We are looking at politics, the promises, and how far they are honored after winning the elections. In brief, Mr. Themba, give us your submission. We were closing.
Thank you, Bernard, for this opportunity. Good evening, good morning, good night to everyone from wherever you're listening. On the topic of campaign promises and the scorecard, I respect the fact that we are coming to an end of the night, and therefore I don't want to pull it so far. I'm going to restrict myself to the question, and that is, I think overall, the Jubilee government, I want to start by giving the Jubilee government a score. Overall, I would give them 40%, to the extent that there are things that they promised and they haven't delivered. Those are promises about cohesive government, bringing us together as a country, making a country devoid of tribal politics. I think they are leaving us more divided than before. So that was a promise they made then. They haven't kept it. So the things that they have given us, the things that they have been able to deliver, would give them 40% to this extent. I have little to say about the MCAs and the MPs, because what I hear from the ground, other than the CDF that some of them have tried to measure on, there's still a lot of complaints that I hear across the board, whether it's whatever political divide someone belongs to. And of late, recently, I hear most of them have now shifted gear to 2022 campaigns. So they really focused on that, which means that they are fairly out of touch with the Mwananchi. So I think I really would advise, as you're saying, this is a very good topic, the electorate to move at saying, did this person deliver on what they promised? And if they haven't delivered or they haven't made any headway, then it is us to exercise our right in the ballot box. However, I want to finish by saying that we will be promised many things come 2022. There's a lot more promises that are coming, but that is the nature of politics. You have to keep raising the hopes of people high so that they can give you that position. But if you can have a conscious electorate, a politically aware electorate that knows what is their right within the constitution and what are the gifts that the MP is extending or the MCA is extending to them. Once we learn how to separate the two, then we'll be able to demand for them with or without the person being elected. So that separation is very important, and we need the civic education. We need continuous discussion, continuous conversation, so that people can know what is it that they can demand from the politician, from grassroots up to the highest level. That is theirs by right because they pay taxes. That is assured by the constitution, not because their MP is doing them a favor. Right now, there are people who are being given bursaries from CDF, which is their own, but they're being told that's a favor from the MP or the MCA. I think those are things we need to continuously engage the electorate. Other than that, thank you so much for the panel, and those who have been here will keep engaging. Thank you.
Thank you. Now let's hear from Sarah as you give us your closing remarks, your final submission and your closing remarks.
Thank you, Bernard. What I wanted to say, there's something which I've forgotten the other time. One, I think from MCA, we have bursary from MCA's office for 2 million. We go to MP, we have CDF. We go to governor, we have county bursaries. There is presidential bursary in Ministry of Education. If we could be doing these things in a genuine manner, hatungepata watoto wenye wako huko nyumbani wanateseka. Because ukisikia MP anakuambia nimekupatia hii bursary 10,000 to 15,000, it is a favor and it is your right. It is something I cannot even tell, because how can you give me, how can you say it is favor and yet it is someone's right? Because those are for less fortunate family, for children, the orphans, the parents who are widowed, the widow or the widower. So about presidential, so many people don't know about this presidential bursary. If you go to the MCA, the only thing these people know is it's only the bursary in governor's office and the CDF money. But the MCA and the what do we call the presidential bursary in Ministry of Education, they don't know. Sasa watu wanapitia mlango ya nyumba wakipeana kuja, and then unaongana. How can you ongana and yet you have a problem to get the fees? So we need to have, as Tempa said, we need to have civic education and tell our people the truth about these things. And then we also, I think with me, I've been telling my leaders, I think I'm your boss because it is me who voted for you, not you. You never. There is no way you have voted for me. So I'm their bosses. So they need to hear from us, but not kila mahali mtu unakimbia unabeg kitu gani na wewe ndio ulimpatia hiyo kura moja ya kuingia kwa parliament. So please, we need to have this civic education, and then we enlighten our people. And then for these people who are doing campaigns, I think people, the voters, should know what type of these people, what kind of this person. Does it, if you, in leadership, you need to have the heart of leading, not the other way around. So for now, watu wengi wamekimbilia pesa, hongo ile 50 bob. Mtu anasema huyu ndio kiongozi. And then baada ya kutaka kupewa pesa, baadaye unasema ati sijasaidiwa na mwenyewe the politician himself or herself anakuambia si I bought your vote. So what do you want from me? So we need to have that civic education, and then our country will move forward. Na tuambiane ukweli. If my side, my leader is wrong, I will face him. Lakini I cannot pamper him because ati kwa sababu ni my party leader, lazima nimbembeleze na mbembeleza ama namwambia ukweli. Even the Bible says, I know, Pastor Bernard, you know, you don't pamper someone, you deal with him. So that is my remarks. And I thank God for having you guys today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. It is a demonstration of love when a father chastises the son for not doing well.
Yes.
Now,
okay. Let me give my
John, just hold on.
Ben,
John.
Ben, let me maliza.
Hey. Now, sasa Jagaret, you have come. Hold on. You people.
Ben, eti.
Unaanza kunivamia mapema namna gani? Subiri kwanza. Tolos.
Yes.
You are the one to give your closing remarks, your final submission and closing remark. Then we go to Jones, then Jagaredo will be the final one to pray for us as we go.
Unaribu hii kitu. Ben, unipe tu dakika moja.
Okay. Ngoja. Tolos, ngoja kwanza. You have already unmute. Don't unmute until you are ready to speak. Okay, thank you. Jagaredo, your 1 minute. Talk to me.
Mimi point imenipendeza hapo ni kwamba Biblia inasema don't pamper somebody. Deal with him.
Yes.
Alafu pia hii topic ya leo mimi naweza nikaongezea kwamba hata tuitwist aje. Unaona venye nilikuwa nimelala hivi nimeshtuka tu kama niingie niwaambie hata tutwist hii topic aje, Baba will never be the president.
Yeah.
Where Clint?
Yeah.
Okay, Bernard, let me make a few of my comments.
Yes, Sarah.
Clint,
Yes.
I think the topic of today, you give us the campaign promises of your own politicians from your ground, and what is their scorecard. Wachana mambo ya baba, weka baba kando. Yes. That is not
Sasa
the topic right now.
Sarah, wajua my governor Zachary Okoth bado all the promises he gave ameaccomplish kila kitu mpaka sahii, hata hatudai deni yoyote kutoka kwake. Barabara ametuwekea, wanafunzi anawafundisha. Nini tena kazi ya governor? Devolution ameleta inafanya. Sasa bado ametufanyia kila kitu, my friend. We don't complain in Migori County. In fact, somebody can loan our governor. We can transfer to another county. In Migori County, we are well off. We don't complain.
I think that is the opposite. The opposite of that, we know it.
Nimemaliza.
Clinton, umemaliza?
Lakini baba hawezi kuwa.
Don't worry about baba. Baba ni baba yetu.
Kwanza kuna promises zingine hazifiki.
Hizi kusumbue
Canaan umeenda mara kadhaa.
Canaan mpaka uingie. Saa hii crocodile yote imekushikwa.
Alafu Sarah ameniuliza promise yenye politician wangu haja accomplish. Hiyo ya Canaan Sarah hii promise ya Canaan nimengojea. Hatujafika Canaan. Hiyo ndio promise yenye haijatimia.
Sasa Clint, mbona unakaa watermelon? Because naona unasema huko kwa baba, huko kwa Jubilee.
Now let's do this. Jakaredo, mute your mic. Everybody mute your mic.
Sasa Ben, ni mute na Sarah alikuwa ananiuliza swali.
Ngoja kwanza
wewe. Time bana.
Wewe unaona vile ninashambuliwa ati nimeonea. Na mimi nilikuwa nataka kumaliza hiki kipindi vizuri tu nikiwa na amani. Hata leo sijakosea.
Acha nijibu Sarah ya mwisho na ninyamaza.
Haya gani?
Sarah, umeniuliza swali mzuri. Eti niachane na baba niseme kitu politicians walituahidi hawakutimiza. Nimesema kwa upande wangu, gavana wangu ametimiza 100% mpaka saizi, hata hatuhitaji gavana. Ya pili,
ngoja nikusaidie. Anzie MCA, uende MP, ukuje governor, kuja women rep, enda senator, na uende kwa president huko juu. So anzie MCA.
Sasa seneta wangu anatangatanga na Raila. Ukiona place Raila ako hapo, huyu afanyi kazi.
Nimekwambia
pili, MCA amesaidia governor kufanya hizi kazi zote. Governor amefanya. Lakini shida iko pale juu. Sarah, mambo na Canaan ndio promise haijaitimia kwetu sisi kama nini. Sasa hiyo ndio shida yenye naona. Tuache kuambiwa Canaan yenye haifiki. Hiyo ndio shida niko nayo hapo kwa promise ya Canaan. Hiyo ndio haijatimia, lakini kwa gavana tuko sawa. Hata tunatamani 2022 ifike, aondoke kwa amani. Ben, nimemaliza.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear from Tolos. Your final remarks as we close.
Omera Ilal. Sasa ile kitu iko, mimi nataka kuanzia tu my closing remarks kwa kutuma rambirambi zangu kwa watu wa Haiti. They have lost more than 1,000 people to a 7.2 Richter scale earthquake. Hey, we are saying sorry to that country. Then on a lighter note, I want to send also my It's not, this one is not a condolence, but it is a sorry state of affairs in Machakos County, where the first lady has run away from office and left. Hey, I think that one was rented. Nilikuwa nafikiria huyo alikuwa amekuwa rented. Sasa contract iliisha. And then the worst part is that it is suspected that whoever stole that jewel is a musician from Kisumu. There are several pictures going around. Giuliani, something of the sort. Anyway,
Hiyo ni jirani ya Kilu. Ni Mjaluo, Wajaluo hatuchezi.
Hawachezi.
Unajua? Amekuachua bwana.
Tolos.
Yes.
There are two things about women. You men, you don't know. Mama usipomchunga kwanza kwa saidi ile ingine. If the nini is pencil only, that pencil, hakuna mahali unafika, mama anatoka akifiatuka kabisa. So alipopata hiyo Giuliani, mambo ilikuwa sawa, akanyorosha kila mahali. Mzee huyo amewachwa gavana. Jipange, angalia huko mbele.
Yaani unatuambia tu hivyo ukweli kwa macho yetu Zara.
On the issue of politicians lying to us, it is like a disease which is being passed from to another, and all these promises we know, even whoever I don't know who will be the president, is also going to lie to us. It's like I remember, if you are a man, you must have told somebody, allow me to just let the head touch the beehive, but when you touch it, you say, my promise was it will only touch, and when you say, why are you moving it inside? You say, no, I just want the head to okay. Anyway, so it is like that, and life continues. I think we are going to live with it, and God willing, I think people should know that the room of improvement is always open. Somebody will come up with an idea, will promise us, and maybe deliver. Thank you very much for today. I came late, and Bernard has kept me also, and Madam Carbon, I wish you all the best, and thank you so much. All the best to everybody.
Thank you so much. I really want to appreciate you guys for making this platform colorful with the variety and different texts. Some of your descriptions are very scary for me. I reserve the comments. But all in all, let us keep Kenya, keep working out to make Kenya a better place, and let's preserve the future. On a more serious note, let us take the 2022 elections seriously, starting now, and be able to influence our circles rightly by giving them the right information. Now that the official liars are going to go out there with the loudest speakers to make their lies, we need to be on the soft end and be able to tell the people, although they are saying this way, this is what they mean, so that people make informed decisions, because we will never have a better world with wrong people in right places. We must always ensure that we get right people in right places to correct the wrongs that are bedeviling us as a people and as a nation. So I really...
And as our pastor, you need to close by a word of prayer.
That's no problem. We are going to close with a word of prayer. But I was saying this. So let us take care of our immediate circle. Now questions are rising up. What is bottom up? what is this trickle down, what is manufacturing, what is economy. Within that, your home state, up around that table where you are eating your lunch, let's give people right information, not just kushabikia, sisi in the bottom up, sisi in the hustler na nini. Let's use that opportunity to give people the right information so that we have an informed electorate. In fact, one of the greatest weapon in the hands of the politician is an informed electorate. So if we begin to inform the electorate, then the electorate begin to ask right questions. Politicians will begin now to get their job serious. But hii maneno ya kuambia kwenda kubadilisha 300,000 into 50 notes, then you come and buy, you are being voted in. Hiyo maneno tunaweza kusimisha tukichukua jukumu letu kuhakikisha kwamba tunafundisha mama zetu, ndugu zetu, marafiki zetu tukiwa hapo sokoni. Let's be there as a voice of reason and a voice of the right information. By that we cause a revolution without carrying one sword in the hand. Otherwise, I really appreciate all of you. And for Sarah, you look like the mother of one of my daughters. I'll give you the number. She's powerful like you. She's right now working where? She told me she's in this other place. It's called what? The place for honey. Where is honey in Baringo?
Koriama.
It's not Koriama. It has an M. Begins with M. Mongo something. It's Mokotio, I think so. I don't know, but I'll give you her number so that you link up. And,
Majimoto.
No, Majimoto. I will remember. So it is a Kalenjin name, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's called Gurgat. She's very powerful, young and energetic.
Maybe she's one of my relatives. Maybe we share the same totem.
I laugh. So I will link the two of you. She can be very handy when it comes. In fact, she's very articulate when it comes to the Kalenjin language and the presentation. She's a powerful marketer. I can vote for her any day. So let's pray so that we close. Heavenly Father, we thank you. We appreciate you that you are a God of heaven, earth, and under the earth. You are a God that knows all things, understands all things, and able to do all things. We thank you for the nation called Kenya, and we present it to you and pray that you be the Lord of this nation. The Bible says, blessed is the nation who the Lord is their God. We enthrone you as the Lord of this nation and ask you to reign in this nation from the east through the west, from the north through the south. You are the one that knows the hearts of men. The Bible says you know our thoughts are far off. Help us to make right decisions and put right leaders in right places for us to rescue this nation from the wrong path. We thank you that you know everything concerning 2022. May you, O God, order our steps and order the steps of each and every voter, that as we go out there to make the decision, we will choose according to your will and according to your wisdom. Not our own way, not our own will, but your will be done concerning this nation. We pray for the recovery of this nation. We pray for the prosperity of this nation. Thank you for each and every family that belongs to this nation, wherever they are. May you keep and preserve each one of them. Thank you for our viewers around the world as they pass through the information that is gone through on this platform. Let it be a blessing to them and let it be able to rescue them from wrong information. We give you thanks and bless you for our president and every other leader at all levels. May you be the Lord of each one of them, and only by your wisdom, let them lead this nation and make this nation great. We give you thanks. We bless you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Okay, so guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate your input. Let's keep sharing this with everybody. Na tukutane kwa show ingine. Yes.
I wanted tell you something. Huh?
Tell me something.
When it comes to Kalenjin, you don't have a single language. Everybody has their own language. Like the Kipsigis, they rather understand themselves with Nandi and Keyo and some part of Tugen called Lembus. But when it comes to Aror, you don't pick any word. If you go to Pokot, you don't, and Marakwet, those are different. You go to Mount Elgon, it's a bit complicated, but you pick some words just for your information.
Thank you for informing me on that. And so you mean to say that Kalenjin is not a general tongue in terms of like for example, in the Luya community, we have the Maragolis, the Bukuzus, the Banyalas, the Batotos. They have a different dialect, but Luya is the general description of all those different dialects.
You see, if you now a prophet comes to our place,
yeah.
If he doesn't speak Kiswahili, nobody will understand a word.
Oh.
Even a word, even the Arors, the Dorobos, like my name. It is really we have a different language, but names we share.
Thank you so much for that, and let's stay in touch. I hope uko kwa group ya WhatsApp.
No, I'm not there. I don't know why I'm not there.
Niachia namba yako kwa hii private chat, alafu nitakuongeza.
Okay.
Ya kuna private chat hapa. Naacha namba yako hapa, alafu siko public, tuna private.
Oh, there's another one. I'm seeing just like next to leave.
Yes, there is a private chat. Yes, you click on that, you leave your number there, and then I'll use it to add you on the group. Otherwise, thank you so much.
Okay.